Sorry about that. Hiya! Oh, we're so short. Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Michael Schwan, and welcome to the stream. Today is Sunday, October 17th, 2021. That means we're going to be hanging out. I'm going to be editing. The lights are really bright, so I do apologize. It's early. And my eyes were like, no, you stayed up real late the last 2 nights. And I'm like, I know. But we got to do this. And it's like, you don't gotta. And I'm like, oh, I know I gotta. You won't like me even more. So go nap stream. No, I'm actually not that tired. My eyes just are pretty sensitive to light first thing in the morning. So this stream is always like a little bit like a lot on the light and the eyes, but it is what it is. Good morning, Eve. Challenging? Yeah, challenging. It's challenging to look at things. Like I could, I'll just sit here with like this, be like, all right, chat, what's up? How's it going, Eve? Good to see you. I hope your exciting weekend things that you were doing have been going good. I know that you said that you had some cool stuff that you were doing this weekend, and I hope that they were fun. I don't know what that says. Oh, there's a message in chat. Anyway, it was good. It was an exhausting 5-hour drive. That's a pretty good drive. Yeah, that's a pretty healthy one, you know. Let's go ahead and get Stream Raiders fired up as well. We are moving through Poltergeist. This event is at least I'm enjoying this event. This event is more enjoyable and more unique especially than the last one. I did not terribly enjoy the last event. Sportio was not high on my... Excuse me? There's a fucking bog witch over there. Alright, well, this is new. I need to place 3 busters. Bust 'em, bust 'em, bust 'em, bust 'em. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that'll work like at all or not, but it's an event is what I will say. At least the map is somewhat different in terms of map design. Yes. And there's no referees, so you know, huge bonus on that one. Huge bonus on there not being any referees. All right, so what are we going to be doing today? I need to edit like the very first thing we're going to be doing is turning on some fucking music. Hang on. Oh, God damn it. Why do you never save a playlist? The VLC? It's like, you know what? You know what would make this easier? If you just fucking get Spotify. I'm like, I don't want to get Spotify. I already pay for Amazon Music. I don't want to pay for Spotify as well. You can stop paying for Amazon Music. Yeah, but I'm not the only one that uses my Amazon Music account. And those other people would be sad. And I'd be like, you want to get them on Spotify or something like that? It's so much effort. Yet here you are complaining about the effort you're having to put in to just being able to use VLC Media Player with the songs that you individually downloaded off of YouTube. Yeah, I know. I know. Why does that say 85%? That should not say 85%. That should say that percent. There's just a fuck ton of doors instead, which counts as enemies. Yeah, I'm sure that there already has been a clip of somebody like losing to the doors or something like that, but I've not had that experience yet, but I'm sure it's happened. I'd be more surprised if it hadn't at this point. Okay, so what are we going to be doing today? We got the music on. We are going to be editing initially. I have some reaction videos that I just need to edit and get ready for YouTube. And then after that, we will probably be working on the next Tarkov video. Which a huge portion of the next Tarkov video is already done. What is the next Tarkov video? An armor tier list. That will be the next video. And I already have the script done, the graphics done. I just need to record it and then actually put everything together. But a lot of the other work is finished. So Diaper is S tier, right? No, there's only 3 armors that I put at S tier. Today, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday. Gotta wait for this peak file to generate down here. No, I can pull it up. I actually already have the graphic finished. This is the actual like completed graphic. No, I did not use the one that is a pre-built graphic. Everything in here is handmade. The whole thing. The tier list itself, like every piece of this tier list I made. Every single one of these icons I made. The whole thing, I built every single piece of this. Oh, I know it looks like the pre-built one, but I wanted to be able to mess with things in Photoshop and not... Because like the one online is very limited, right? And I wanted to be able to move things around because like there is an armor tier list on tier list. Oh, I can't spell. There's two problems with this one, right? Which if we go in here, Tarkov, guns aren't. We'll just click on armor. So one, like I really hate the way these letters look. These don't have what the armor is. I mean, a lot of them, you know, you'd probably know on its own. It doesn't have, none of these have the new armors in them either. And I can't separate them out in any way. Like, I can change where they go on this list here. And I can't put, like, headings or anything on them either. So, like, this, and, like, I find this to be kind of ugly. Just because like the letters are so small. So like this one's better because they put the name of the gun on them. But this isn't quite what I'd be rocking with either. And again, I still don't like the way the letters are. Alignment chart maybe? Oh no, this is different. This is this is completely different. This is like political compass shit. And then like you can, you know, view the individual picture, right? And it's just not what I needed or wanted for this, because this compared to this is very, very different. What does the cogwheel on each tier do? lets you change the label color, what it says, and add a row above or below. Like, this isn't bad, but it's definitely not what I... It isn't this. It isn't this. Like, I feel like these are much easier to read letters. I made it where you can probably more easily see and read what each armor is if you don't know it, because especially, like, I find that a lot of tier lists are people that either are very opinionated or people that are looking for advice, but like, pack it in the wrong place. Which one? No, I've double checked. All of these should be in the right spot. No, pack is a class 2 armor. When did that change? Never. Pack has been a class 2 armor as long as I have played. I don't think I've ever said a P.A.K.A. is a class 3. I don't know about Dimden. Dimden might think it's a class 3, but it's definitely not. Why is that B? The short answer is because it looks cool. That's the short answer. It's because it looks cool. That is the honest and short answer, is because it looks cool. Where are we? Okay, so the ad... Here? Tired of shit not working. Oh my god. Anyway. Green. He only wants to devour your soul. The pause screens when editing are probably one of the best parts. Like, oh man, that was... Hey, I paused you. Calm down. Live stream. Thank you and enjoy. But yeah, there's reasons for everything in the tier list to be where it is. Some of the Rivals one is probably the most silly, realistically. Like, the Rivals one is probably the only one that's genuinely only there for memes. Nope, there's another one that's where it is because of memes, but it's not as blatant as putting Rivals at B, right? Like, it's not as blatant as this. There's only one other that's there, that's where it is for memes, but everything else is there for genuine reasons. Slick versus Hex, why is 1S and 1A? Even though they're so damn near the same? Is that the meme? No, the meme is the Redut T5 here, the samurai armor. It should be lower, but the fact that you can put it on and grab a sword. You thought that was the Thor G? No. This is new and it's garbage. This is new and it's garbage. I like the arm armor. Arm armor is actively bad. Like, I can understand why you would like it, but your arms are better armor than having arm armor. It is actively bad with the way the game mechanics work. Like, you are wholly putting yourself at a significant disadvantage by having arm armor. So any armor that had arm armor got put lower. I'd rather have my armor be ruined and get it back than be taken by others. Here's the reason it's bad. Your armor's durability is shared no matter where it gets hit at. So if you get shot in the arm, you lose protection for your chest. And that's the problem. If I'm getting hit, I'm dying either way. That's a really negative outlook to take, and it's an incorrect one. Thank you, and enjoy. The last 50 raids has proven you right. You've also, at least in the raids I've been with you, made bad tactical decisions that have led to a death when you would have otherwise survived. So, which that will get you killed way more than your armor choice. Running with us? I mean, if you want to be a troll, leave. That's perfectly fine. But if you don't want to take responsibility for your own actions, you should consider looking into that. Most times I've died right next to you guys. You call it a troll, but 6 feet away from you and I die. Like I said, Eve, if you want to keep trying to point fingers, that's fine. But I'm telling you, you need to start looking inward on the reason a lot of things happen to you in Tarkov. If you want to try and blame it on us, that's fine. But you should try and go play solo and see if something goes differently for you. Or consider like looking at what you're doing versus what we're doing, or where we're going versus where you're going. Because if we all survive and you die, that's a you thing, not an us thing. I'm not blaming. That's where you were looking at different. If you say so. If you literally just said I die because I'm running with you guys. That's blaming us, Eve. You may not think so, but that is directly blaming us. Because that could be directly inferred that I probably could have survived if I wasn't running with you. No, I'm looking at you not taking any responsibility for your own actions. This is going back to the exact same conversation we had with the reporting of you don't take responsibility for your shit is the thing. Hey, Scott Scabbers, good morning. I'm 100% dead wrong there? Okay. Okay. Good evening, Scott Scabbers. Scott Scabbers, you're in like the UK, right? What time is it there? Like 6? 5? Back farther. You're UK. It's almost 6:30 p.m. Time zones are weird. All right. Greetings. God damn it. This is a fucking bog monster over here. It got worse. That face though. I know, right? This one's pretty good too. Greetings. Greetings. Hang on. There was another good one in there. That's a good one. They all need to be emotes now. I do actually have a lot of space in the I do have a lot of space in our BTTV dashboard. Like, I have a lot of space in my BTTV dashboard because the only things in it right now are the excess swan emotes. Yeah. So these are the ones that are, and we still have 35 slots. Eve, seriously, if you want to be this way, you can leave. I'm not dealing with your shit today. If you don't understand like the problem that I have with your stuff right now, I don't want to deal with it. Like, I understand that you might not understand why what you're saying is the way that it is, but you can either understand that you are pointing fingers and blaming, or you can leave. Make your choice. Like, if you want to keep pushing that button, that's fine. Like, I appreciate you being here a lot, friend, but you were probably thinking you were being funny, and you weren't. You were just jabbing. And while you may not have intended to be jabbing, that's what you were doing. Joy. So you can either accept that that's what happened, or we can move on. Did you seriously just hit me up with the "I'm sorry you feel that way"? Is that what you just did? Is that what you just did? I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you think I hurt your feelings. Is that really what you just tried to pull? Really? Really? Wow. Okay. That's cool, buddy. That's cool, buddy. Like, that actively on its own is a separate form of insult. Eve, please leave. What are we working on today, Scott Scabbers? We are working on editing some reactions first, and then after that, we will be probably recording a video, maybe a first impression for Phantasy Star Online 2. Yeah. We'll see how far we get. What is the name of this next? Oh, it's going to be on the thing. I do actually need to know the name of it to create the file, though. Opus Echo of Star Song. You had a big lag spike, so all you heard about was the recording. It's not my stuff, is it? Doesn't look like it. Okay. So we're editing some reaction videos from earlier in the week right now. And then after that, we are going to be maybe recording a Tarkov video or recording the next first impression. Just kind of playing it by ear right now. Focusing on the stuff that I do know that I'm trying to get done. So, and then of course running Stream Raiders, which, let's see. What is the enemies types in this? We do have some armored in here. Stream Raiders is always fun. Why the quotation marks? Why the quotation marks? That is not the correct name. Well, it's fun for all of PvE, but that's it. You don't care for the PvP, the versus anymore. Did we? Oh, okay. I was on the wrong side of this one. Have you done much dungeons, Scott Scabbers? And if so, like, how do you feel about it?
Thank you and enjoy.
I mean, it's still PvE, but it's like kind of fast-paced the way that Versus is. Didn't realize how fast I was changing faces in this one. No. Maybe. Maybe? Interested to see the upload of this one since you really enjoyed that game. Eve, you can come back today if you want, and if you don't want to be combative, trollish, and have an attitude, that's it. Like, that's the extent of it. You can come back whenever you feel like being cordial instead of being combative, argumentative, and outright, like, fighting with me. So whenever that is for you, whether that's next stream, next week, or in 10 minutes, it's up to you. Okay? Whatever that means for you. Did you... Oh, Select, did you play through all of them? Because when we did the reaction for this, we did see that there is 2 other games called Opus. Have you played through all of them? You've not played the other 2? Only Echo of Star Song? And how much does it actually involve the puzzle sides of things? Because I know that it says that it's a puzzle adventure game, but it also looks like it kind of could be just like a point and click game, but without like the point and click of something like Monkey Island. Not really, because for me it's a case of they clearly don't want to listen to captains and the communities for the PvP, and with Dungeons I feel like they're trying to make a PvE version of the PvP. Okay, yeah, I can see that. And in a lot of ways I agree. I mean, people wanted essentially like an endless mode, which I thought was what the campaign mode kind of always was. There's a lot of like hurdles, I guess, with a direction that they had been taking the game, which is that I didn't really like how a lot of the game they had been, for a little while there, it looked like they were trying to make Stream Raiders be a full-time game. Like, this is what you're playing, right? And that's what Dungeons really is that you are playing Dungeons. That is what you are playing. And I didn't really care for that, because while I do enjoy Stream Raiders is still very much a side game for me. It's something we do on the side. It is not the focus of what I'm doing here, right? And I feel like a lot of things that they were doing for a little while was too heavily pushing towards trying to make it the game that you play. Puzzle mechanics aren't super involved. Okay. The other ones have less mechanics from what you've seen. Interesting. If you're just looking at gameplay with no story or anything else behind it, the puzzle gameplay alone would barely be enough to be a game. It's more to keep you interested while you experience the story. Oh, okay. I can see that. I just... Nothing was very indicative of that. Like, the world concept is an interesting one. To be honest, I get that coding can be hard or difficult, but I feel as if they know what they're doing and they don't want to do a lot of the stuff that captains come to them with. Certain members of the team... Where are we going? Oh. Okay. Wait, the trees are bad guys? Why are the trees bad guys? Okay, we don't have to kill the trees after we killed all the little bog hand. That was weird. Okay, 20 gold and 3 rogues that can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills go into Eve with 16. Second place to myself with 13. Third place to Athena with 7. Most assists to Scott Scabbers with 4. Tied with Athena for 4 and myself with 3 in second place. There are definitely some members of the Captain TV team that I feel are very, very resistant to feedback, but specifically feature feedback. Bug reports are obviously different. Like if there's a bug or something that would improve like flow or visuals or something like that, oftentimes everyone is just like, oh, that's a great idea, thanks, you know, that'll make the game that we've already made better. But I feel like if there's something that is a change to the game, there's a few members of the Captain TV team that are really, really resistant to it. That are like along the lines of, well, we made this game, so we clearly know more about the game than you, and you're just somebody who plays it, so there's no way that what you could say could actually make the game better or not. It not necessarily exactly that, but it definitely feels that way sometimes. Actually going to bring this in a bit. There we go. Okay, those are all ready to go. Go ahead and just tell those to start, and we'll start working on thumbnails. Have you played in New World? No, I haven't. I'm not super interested in it. I've played a lot of MMOs, and I didn't see anything in New World that really seemed to bring something genuinely new to the table beyond being a new MMO. That is not what I wanted. Why is this selected? Don't need to care anyway. To be honest, after playing a couple weeks now, I can say that it definitely feels like it's jumping on the bandwagon that already left. Admittedly, it's fun to play with friends, but still. Yeah. And, like, I had a couple of friends play the, like, the open beta for it or whatever. And the way that they described it, they were like, okay, so I know the perfect way to describe this game. And I'm like, I'm ready. And they're like, it is World of Warcraft meets RuneScape, but with new graphics. And I was like, wow, you could not have described a more unappealing game. I've played a lot of both of those games, right? A lot of World of Warcraft, a lot of RuneScape. And that was not a good pitch for me at all. I was like, oh, that's gonna be a big no. Yeah. I wonder how well. Oh, this image is like super grainy. Well, no, just like, see if there's a better quality picture. No, that one's not better at all. See, it's like more Final Fantasy version of RuneScape, but without the mounts. There's not a huge difference in my mind between Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft. I do think Final Fantasy XIV is a better game, but that might be because I'm just jaded against World of Warcraft at this point. I mean, I can see why your friends would describe it as WoW version of RuneScape, but because it definitely does feel like it's trying to be its own game. Well, and also like now, I still have some of them that are playing it, right? And they're loving it. They are down for it, and I'm like, that's great. You guys have fun, right? If you guys keep playing it for eons, congratulations. I unfortunately will probably never join you, but. Most of them at this point have also just told me, they're like, all right, so I'm still having a lot of fun, but they've also like, there's kind of only two things to do. They're like, because there's not a whole lot of story, and so the things to do are to grind your skills so you can make better armor and make better equipment and stuff, and then you go PvP, and that's it. Like there's grinding, there's PvP, because they haven't put a whole lot of effort into anything else. Apparently, like the few raids that there are not incredible. Definitely down to play, but you're not going to base people for not playing it or for leaving it. I wish the game was free. I know that like other MMOs aren't free, and well, RuneScape technically is, but No, it's not. You're paying the $5 for your membership. Also, I don't even know what the state of RuneScape is anymore. I played RuneScape legit in like 2008, okay? Like, I don't know what's going on in that game anymore. I know it's still alive, and I know people are still talking about it, but fuck, I don't know what's happening in that game at this point, right? I have no clue. There's like 3 versions of RuneScape now, too, because there's like old school RuneScape and like RuneScape 3 and something else, and I don't even know what's all going on with RuneScape anymore. I really don't. But I thought initially that New World was going to be free, and I was kind of surprised when it wasn't. And I don't know why I thought it was going to be free. I really don't. I'm not basing that off of like anything in my immediate memory that's like, I thought they said it was going to be free. For some reason, I just thought it was going to be free, and that ended up not being like what happened in terms of it being free. Apparently it didn't need to be free though. Fuckload of people bought the thing. No, I didn't want to close all of Photoshop. One or two. One. The dungeons definitely feel like you can over level for them easily and just run through them real quick. Yeah. I've heard similar things about the end game dungeons. I don't know if they're called raids or whatever they're called, right? Like, obviously, if we're going like World of Warcraft style, dang it. They were always called raids. Are they called raids in Final Fantasy? I've not actually gotten that far in Final Fantasy. I'm only level like 30 or something like that. Because like MMOs take a fuckload of time. I think they're called excavations in New World. Okay. I figured they'd had to have their own name. Well, they don't have to have their own name, but I feel like so many companies like, we can't call them raids because World of Warcraft called them raids, so we got to think of some other name, even though everyone's still just going to call it a raid. Like, I don't know why they do that. I really don't. But all they really are dungeons. Are they done? Like, so did you play World of Warcraft, Scott Scappers, before I like asked this question that you might not be able to like say anything about? You played when you were like 1. I know that was a typo, but I loved that. I definitely just pictured a fucking infant sitting there with a fucking full-on gamer headset running raids against Arthas like, we're gonna get him! An infant would be better than some of the people I made it with. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh. Oh my. What's all this then? May have been with how much you remember about WoW. Well, the reason that I was gonna ask Scott Scabbers, if you're not able to answer, you know, that's perfectly fine. Like, the reason that I was gonna ask though is because in World of Warcraft there are dungeons and there are raids, and dungeons are like mini raids, right? Like they're just like a small little stint. There's not as many trash mobs most of the time. There's a couple exceptions, of course. They only have like 2 or 3 bosses in them, maybe up to 5, where raids are huge. Well, also the other difference was the number of players. Dungeons were played with 5 people. Raids were 40, 25, 25, 10, depending on what point in World of Warcraft we're talking about. I guess size is just the overall difference between a dungeon and a raid in World of Warcraft. Is that dungeons were 5 mans and were smaller, and raids were 10 to 25 to 40 mans and were bigger. But I don't know if what New World has on comparison to that. Netflix, Arcane. For the ones I know of, you can only have 5 players run them because that's the max group size outside of them. Interesting. So they are only limited to 5? That is very interesting to me. I'll tell you if I run it any that can have more players in them. Okay. In WoW, raids were a special type of dungeon that let you accumulate multiple 5-man groups into one bigger party that increased in size to what constituted a raid from 10 to 40 people. Yeah. Anyway. Ooh, that could be a good one too. Why are all these images so tiny when I'm trying to get them? Why are you so rude to me? Fine, I'll just keep downloading them like this. I get the full size one when I do it like this. So I'm gonna open this image. You could be like, "Look, it's tiny," and I'm gonna be like, "No, it's not." I can clearly see that it's not tiny. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like kung fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, and I just want it. I'm honestly really excited for Arcane, by the way. I'm like genuinely excited for this show. Like, I am genuinely excited for Arcane. I do believe that it is going to be very good. Why are you so small? You were bigger before. Fuck. As someone who has just glanced over the lore for lol, I agree. It looks a fantastic way to learn the background of the core characters. As someone who has not glanced over the lore for lol and knows these characters pretty well.
From the start, you my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arm. Yeah, this don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, day up and out with you till I die. How many
that one's too small. I'm just a fish lady, man. Yeah, is that so? You're a fish lady, main? I think let's put the words on too. Must have lots of fun in Earth then. She's good there. She facts. We're gonna go with this one. You know, so here's the thing. Oh yeah, Hextech Gunblade? What's that? I don't know what that is. I don't see no Hextech Gunblade in there anywhere. Rest in peace, Hextech Gunblade. We miss you. Oh. Anyway. So here's the thing, right? These colors on this this thingamabob here, this stuff right here, the colors, these colors are from the last reaction thumbnail, right? For fuck. Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. And I normally want to like alternate colors around and stuff so that it doesn't have the exact same colors on each thumbnail. But the colors that are on it are the colors that Jinx has on her. And I want to leave them. Because it looks good. Maybe, let's see what happens if we invert them. I just like grab her hair. It's really dark. It's really dark. I honestly forgot how to play the game. You need to look at your history to see what I was seriously playing last on LoL. Well, I know that you haven't played in a little while because Hextech Gunblade is not in the game anymore. I like the science a lot in LoL in all roles except jungle because I can't jungle to carry and save the team. Yeah, Hextech Gunblade hasn't been in the game for... Azariah, help me out, like... a year and a half? This got a long time ago. Oh god. We are super casual right now. You are correct. Big cash. Big cash. Yeah, there's play the custom game modes, which currently IRF. Yeah. I think I've just played so much League over the years that you're back from taking care of some business. Welcome back, Scott Scabbers. Yeah, I just played so much League over the years, and I don't feel like the game is still fun, but it just, because I've played so much of it, it doesn't offer a whole lot that's new to me and my brain anymore. And the moment-to-moment interactions aren't as engaging as they once were. All these faces are very similar. Gonna go with this one though. My history? What's wrong, Cerulean? I don't understand. Thank you for the hydrate, Scott Scabbers. Oh, your match history. Okay, okay. Well, maybe. I don't know. So I might have a good suggestion there, but I don't know if that's what you're actually talking about. How about the last time you bought a skin? Let's not talk about that. Go on. Time to go on op.gg or something. Yeah, they might have at least a piece of information about your last match. Watch, Cerulean's gonna get in there and they're gonna be like, I didn't play League that long ago, and their last match is from 2017. Be like, oh. What happened to time? Oh no, it's not that long ago. Probably within the year. It'd have to be a little bit longer than that, because Hextech Gunblade got taken out with the item rework, and that was last year, I think. I'm pretty certain that was last year. I mean, I guess you could have played in the last year and just not noticed that they had taken Gunblade out, though, so. Well, I guess it's been that long since I checked my history. I knew I was playing that one new 2-lane map with 2 junglers. Oh, the Blitz? Nexus Blitz? Now that I'm looking at my first skins were from 2011, 2012. Yeah, Gunblade was removed in 2021 preseason according to the patch notes in November of 2020. So yeah, that would have been about a year ago. Was it the new Nexus Blitz or the old one? Was it on the Cherry Blossoms map? Well, if it isn't Vandashar. Vandashar with its smokier for the win artillery. Yes, ready to fuck some shit up, I see. Okay, while this battle runs, I'm gonna go refill my coffee. I'll be right back. Looking at your mastery history, I was playing as either Tank Nivea or Annoying Tank Karma. Throwing either Quinn mid or some Misfortune Jin support. Tank Karma is better than it should be. Of course, I could say that about a lot of things. Now that Urf is around, AP Jin will be hilarious. Most, like, Jin... Jin and Urf is stupid. He's legitimately, like... way overpowered in Urf. Scott Scabbers wants that gold. You got it. 3 warriors. Those computers for 420 channel points. El Canadiano with the most kills. Second place going to Vandashar. Third place to myself. Most assists going to Athena with 6. Scott Scabbers with 5. Everyone else tying up third place with 0. Exploding landmines with Magic Pen. That long dong. Show sheep you with the warriors. Back to the map. We need to go this way. Yes, yes. What do I still need to place? I need to place busters and healers. You want to know what's not happening? Placing busters and healers. Imagine placing busters and healers in PvE. Healers are just fine. Busters can be fine. The problem is like as a captain, you never want to place a buster as a captain, ever. Like just ever. This image. Maybe I don't. Solid Dark Harvest, Caitlyn. Just silly. I think that's the point a lot of people reach in League of Legends, though. You're like, all right, well, I'm done trying. I'm just gonna have fun now. Like, can I get this image, but like bigger? And with a few more pixels? Dad.
All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost and found. But you don't care.
It's great when you one-shot assassins coming for you with that build. Really piss off Pyke doing the same with Misfortune and Earth. Pyke's kind of dumb. Oh. Why don't you have any pixels? Thank you. Apparently you do. Yeah, let's try this one. This one looks like it could be good. Honestly, I don't think there's enough incentive for captains to place the busters and healers without the battles being very specific. Oh, you're absolutely right. If you have enough people placing, you can get away with placing a healer as a captain, and it's just not a big deal at all, right? But busters, it's... I guess my karma is just vroom vroom tank for Earth. It can be whatever you want it to be, Cerulean, except a melee character. There's no way to make that one happen.
No point in blaming you, you did not know. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. As you cross by the stormy seas.
All right, we're gonna do something here right now. All right, right now. Here's my task manager, right? Here's my Ethernet line. Okay. So for those that might not know, we've had some internet issues for the last several months in my house, and we've had so many visits to get them to fix it. Okay, so it's a little small, and I don't think that there's any way for me to make it bigger. There's not. Okay, so we're sending out 6.1 megabits per second right now, which is fine. Like, my target bit rate is 5,500. Of course, we send out a little bit extra because it's just general back and forth stuff, right? Like, there's always a little bit going out when you're plugged in, right? Sending Microsoft all my data and shit. But our package is supposed to be originally a 50 megabit per second upload package and is now a 75 megabit per second upload package. Okay. And we were not getting the 6 that we need to stream, and we've had 5 visits from techs to get that fixed, and it's hopefully fixed. It seems to be doing extremely well since this last visit. They replaced the entire line, so there's not a whole lot left for them to try to fix, but yeah. Anyway, there was no blips on Friday, which is the day they came to fix it. I don't believe Athena had any blips on their stream last night, and we've not seen any this morning. Now, my internet service provider informed me, although I found out later that the tech that told me this wasn't supposed to tell me this. So with your internet package is always an up to amount, right? It says, you know, like, I am supposed to get up to 50 megabits per second. I am not guaranteed to always get 50 megabits per second, or in this case now 75 megabits per second. Up to X amount. But the tech told me that, yeah, and I understand you will not always get that maximum amount, but the company's policy that they don't share with people, that they've shared with me, that I'm now sharing with you, is that they're never supposed to drop below 65% of whatever your package is, outside of extreme circumstances, like it was a bunch of snow built up on a tree, the tree broke, and the tree took down a line or something like that, right? And your signals having to be rerouted a different direction, which might lead to a breach in speed or something like that. Anyway, so 65% of 50 is 32.5 megabits, which we were not getting. 65% of 75 is 50. We'll just say it's fucking 50-ish. It's a little bit less than 50. It's like 49, but whatever. Anyway, I should never get less than 40-ish, we'll say, right? 40-ish. So we're going to try and upload a YouTube video while we're streaming. Let's see what happens. I'll keep this on the screen over here so I can see it. I got my numbers over here. Let's see what happens, guys. Let's go on an adventure. Because the reality is that this should work without issue, right? Like, this should work. Should. Playing with fate over here, but... You shouldn't get less than 48.75 megabits per second. Yeah. I knew it was somewhere in that realm. Because 50 would be 66.666666 repeating of 75. But so I was like, it's slightly less than that. So like 49. This is the wrong Chrome account. And realistically, this should upload pretty decently. Like how I drag that to upload and then immediately the music stopped. Uh-oh. Okay, so the stream's holding out just fine, and I do see that we are sending out 45 megabits per second. It's dropping down a bit. It's dropping back down. The stream hasn't stuttered, though. Stream holding at the bitrate it's supposed to be, sending out... It's fluctuating between 30 to 50 megabits. That could be my system. That could be something to do with YouTube trying to receive the data, because I am sending them a video that's like a gigabit in size. Oh, we dropped some frames. We dropped some frames. Okay, I just wanted to see if it was possible at all, right? Like, ultimately, it looks like I probably could. I probably shouldn't, but I could. If there was a way to tell YouTube or tell the upload service to YouTube of like, hey, don't use more than 20 megabits per second, it would probably work just fine. Like if I could set a limit on how much it's uploading, obviously YouTube and Google has a very large amount of bandwidth that they would allow you to accept, because that's one of the limitations on your internet package, right? Like if you have a 2 gigabit connection, which is what we have now, there's not many services that'll actually send you 2 gigabits of data, right? Because they have to be able to send you that much data, which 2 gigabits of data is roughly 250 megabytes of information every second, which means you're downloading a gigabyte of data every 4 seconds, which is a lot, right? Like like this video, if I was downloading it at 2 gigabits per second, I would be downloading this entire video in less than 4 seconds. But the number of services that actually will give you that much flow there's very few, right? A lot of services have a limit, have a cap on how much they are willing to accept or how much they're willing to send out at once. So in terms of what services you can actually utilize to get access to that 2 gigabits per second that I have, I don't know how many there are. I'm just gonna let this video finish uploading. It's at 60 seconds left, and then I won't do the next one. I'm also capping out at 50, which makes me curious. We're supposed to get 7. Well, I guess we shouldn't get less than 50, but we're supposed to get up to 75. I might play around with cables and see if there's a difference in the ports. Oh! I need to get more sleep, y'all. See, it bumped up to like 63 there. 66. Woo! Those are big boy numbers. Those are big boy numbers. All right, we're done. That was a pretty fast upload, though. Especially considering I was also cranking out the stream at the same time. We're getting the big boy number now, boys. The big boy numbers. I'll come back with fixed internet and we'll be doing numbers. Oh, man. Cowboy Bebop. There's no document in here. I edited this one instead of creating a new one, didn't I? Yep, sure did. I'm so good at this. Yeah, get those numbers. I'm trying, Sat Scabbers. I'm trying. Oh, this just got real personal. I'm trying. I'm trying so hard. I want to be a real content creator someday. Oh, I'm trying. What am I doing? Thank you, Scott Savers. Getting in a fight with one of my own mods this morning probably isn't a good way to become a good content creator. But you know what? Whatever. It wasn't about content or moderation. It was about private shit from playing games together. Wasn't a good place to handle it, but they weren't picking up on that. I'm trying, though. I'm trying. I wish I was farther along, and I feel like I should be. Obviously, all the internet problems over the last several months probably hasn't helped that, but... I'm trying. I'm trying. It's very frustrating with the numbers stuff, like, because I do feel like I should be farther along than I am, right? But it's like, I don't know what else I can, and you know, maybe there's not anything else that I can do, because like, you shouldn't compare yourself to the people at the top, and I try very hard not to, and especially when you see people like Pokimane or Markiplier or Philip DeFranco or XQC or whatever, you know, like when you're like, man, they got fucking numbers, right? And I don't need XQC's numbers. I don't need 80,000 people watching me. I don't need 25 million YouTube subscribers. Would I be upset by it? Absolutely not. But it's not what I need, right? It is not what I'm searching for or anything like that. And when it comes, but then you also like see that like most of them started 8 to 12 years ago, and it's like, all right, you've been working for a while. I don't know how long you didn't have numbers, right? To be fair, we all have that shit we have to deal with, whether it be internet shit or mental shit. I thankfully, at the point I am in life right now, don't have to deal with as much mental shit. I definitely did across my life, and I did many years of going to see a psychologist and stuff for it to be able to handle my own brain. Which, like, that's the thing, which now allows me to instead be conflicted about internet numbers shit, right? How do you spell Spike's last name? Spike Spiegel. Yeah, they put in the years to get those numbers, and I'm glad you got help for your mental shit. Me too. Me too, because it was not good. It was not good. And obviously, and I obviously mean with the bad stuff. Yeah. I know what you meant. Checks, you're gonna tell me that there's copywritten music in this, huh? Copyright owner is allowing you to use the claimed content. Will collect stats about your video's views. That's fine. Let's have this go out tomorrow at 4:15 p.m. Schedule. Greetings and calm down. Just for those that don't, because I know when I type and send something, some people end up getting angry, upset with me. Yeah, I can understand that. It happens. It happens. We don't like it when it happens, but it does happen. I have 3 notifications on Twitter. What are they? people being awesome. Okay, I'll close this out. We won't do another upload since, while I am happy to see that it was like, fuck yeah, it also made the stream stutter just a little bit. We don't want that, right? We don't want that, right? Actually, there is one other thing I can do in there so that when I turn off the stream, I can just, let me do the video descriptions for these other two. That way they're just done and ready to go. Let's upload this video stream. I'm a stutter. It makes me wonder now, like, so there is on my modem, there's a separate Ethernet port that I thought I had this plugged into, but it's supposed to be like, they have one dedicated port for the 2 gigabit, 75 megabit connection, and I'm not plugged into it right now, and I'm not sure why, but I will, after the stream, I will move my computer's Ethernet connection to that one, and then see if I can actually hit like 75 megabits on the upload. It's interesting because the other ones are supposed to be 1 gigabit, 50 megabit lines, the ports, but we were hitting like 65 gigabits, 65 megabits on those. So yeah, I don't know. $65 gigabits. Let's think about what we could do with that shit. I want that internet, thanks, right? I don't know what I'm doing with it, but I want it. That's odd. 50... What? $50 megabits is 400 megabytes. Wait, no? No. 50 megabytes is 400 gigabits. No. That's not accurate either. Oh, okay. Got it. 50 megabytes is 400 megabits. Got it. Okay. Yes, yes, Nisalak, you're correct. Like, I don't know where they got megabits and gigabits compared to megabytes and gigabytes. I don't know why there's a fucking difference, and I feel like it's strictly for marketing bullshit. Because when they're like, oh yeah, you got a 1 gig connection. Most people think that means they are, like, if you got 1 gig per second. Most people think that means 1 gigabyte per second. It is not. It is 1 gigabit per second. And a gigabit is only equivalent to 125 megabytes. And I feel like it's literally just marketing bullshit. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, 125 megabytes per second on your download is still a fucking shitload, right? Like, you're still downloading a full gigabyte of data every 4 seconds. No, 8 seconds. Every 8 seconds. Which means that you're able to download a huge-ass fucking game in, like, 10 minutes, right? But it's still such a weird, like, way to phrase it, right? And especially because, like, what does that equal going the other direction? I need a calculator. So if a gigabit is 125 meg, where's my calculator? Here it is. is 125 megabytes. What's 125 divided by 20? 6.25. So that means on upload, you're actually only able to upload 6.25 megabytes of data per second, which ultimately is like significantly less. Like significantly less. Considering like because I upload all the VODs, right? And so all of the VODs are like 30 gigabytes ish. So if we have 30 gigabytes, that's 30,000 megabytes divided by 6.25. That's 4,800 seconds that it takes to upload a VOD, which is 80 minutes. You're only getting 1/20th upload versus download? Yeah, our base package, so we just got changed to a new one, but our original package was 1 gigabit down, 50 megabits up. Yeah, 1 gigabit down, 50 megabits up. And our new one is 2 gigabits down, 75 megabits up. And those are the absolute best packages that are available within the state of Alaska that I am aware of, outside of like maybe a special deal that you make with the service provider. It's one of the main differences between business plans versus consumer ones. Right, and I mean, like, even for most of what I'm doing, like, sure, it'll take 80 minutes, roughly, to upload a VOD, but I can do that while I'm just doing paperwork, right? Or set it to upload, like, set a few of them to upload overnight, and it's not a big deal. That's normally sufficient. That's enough, right? But the problem is that we weren't getting that. Like, we weren't getting that much. Business lines tend to be symmetric up and down. Yeah. I would love 1,000 down, 1,000 up. A gigabit down and a gigabit up, that would be excellent. I would love to have a gigabit up. Obviously, like, my data usage is very different from most regular consumers. And the last tech that was here even expressed that. They're like, you don't use your internet the way that our regular customers do. So I understand why this issue might be very apparent for you when it's not apparent for, like, anyone else, right? Because most people, they're uploading a picture to Facebook, right? Or like a video to Facebook to share with their friends. They're not trying to upload 30 gigabytes of footage per video file. This is a bomber. Yes. Oh, I wanted to check something. What are the Possess Buster, Costume Flying Rogue, Costume Monk? The whole thing about what does El Canadiano have up here? Hang on, what is this? It's also a bomber. Okay, put this right here, I think. Okay. I think I really wish they didn't miscommunicate the difference between bits and bytes, because I feel like that is like really misleading to people, to where people will just not understand what the service they're paying for is giving them. And I feel like that's unfortunate, because it really sets false expectations of what you're going to get. Once you understand it, you can like see it and plan around it and stuff, right? But you have to understand what it is first. Because I know for the longest time, I thought when companies were like, yeah, you got a 1 gig connection, I thought that meant 1 gigabyte, and it's not. It's 125 megabytes. It's also really important, I think, also to understand that there are more things that can be involved with that than just your internet line. Because I know, like, for instance, not on our main computer, but on our backup computer, we were having, like, speed limitation issues. This is not recent. This is years ago. We were having speed issues and we couldn't figure out why, and I found out why, and it's because the Ethernet cable we were using was an older one, and it only had, the Ethernet cable itself only had the capacity to run 100 megabits of data. So it could only handle 100 megabits through the Ethernet line, even though there was a 1 gigabit connection, right? It could not do more than that. So that computer couldn't do more than 100 megabits because that's all that the Ethernet line from the router to the computer would permit. And that was an interesting thing to learn as well. Like, just make sure you have Cat 6 cables at least in all of your house at this point now. But even then, to touch on Cat 6 cables and to touch on like my current internet, our house just got recently upgraded to a 2 gigabit download, right? Most things that I have seen are only go up to 1 gigabit. Like, I know that, like, so we have a splitter upstairs. Like, let me find it real quick. Going random on these. It's not called a splitter. It's called a network. Oh, it is called a splitter as well. It's also called a network switch. Let me get this started and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we have one of these upstairs. This is this is kind of like a router without Wi-Fi is the way that I would describe it. All this does is this right port, this is the internet in, and these give you more places to send the internet. So it's just a network switch. So basically, like I said, basically think of it like your router, just it doesn't give you Wi-Fi. We have one of these that we run for the devices upstairs. But this is only a 1 gigabit switch. It can't take more than 1 gigabit per second, right? And so, like, if I wanted to have that 2 gigabit connection go throughout the devices that are hardwired upstairs, this wouldn't be sufficient anymore. This can only handle a gigabit going through it. But even more on that, right? Welcome back, Eve. It's good to see you. Even more on that, like, I don't know if my motherboard, because like I have my computer hardwired into my motherboard, right? I don't know if my motherboard can accept more than 1 gigabit, right? Like the network card that's built into my motherboard. It's not something that I've ever had to look at, right? I'm not even sure where to find it on this like spec sheet of like how much internet can my motherboard accept. It's not even a common stat, right? Like it's not even put on the, yeah, whatever. How often do you get a continuous load that is a 1 gigabit connection? Well, that wasn't the point that we were getting at. Is that like my internet service provider locally recently just started this big like push about how they're upgrading our lines from 1 gigabit to 2 gigabits on our download. And like one of the problems altogether is, like I mentioned it earlier, a good number of services won't even give you a gigabit, right? Because it's about what they can send out, how many people didn't get that information, right? Like, or not that information, how many different people are pulling from them. Like, I'm trying to think of how many services would genuinely even provide you a gigabit, like, line, right? Like, feed. Like, Steam, maybe? Like, Steam might. If you're pulling something from Google, you could probably get a 1 gigabit. And any of Google's services, right? Like, I'll include YouTube and stuff in that. But most other services, they'll probably limit you because they're like, we can't provide that large of a stream to as many people that could possibly ask for it. I know some high seas that torrents are different, my friend. Oh, that's funny though. It's fucking funny. But we were looking at what, when moving from, like, a lot of things now are 1 gigabit, like, are up to 1 gigabit, right? Like, Cat 6 cables support 1 gigabit. They might support more, I don't know, but I know that Cat 6 cables for your Ethernet line support at least 1 gigabit. My network switch upstairs is a 1 gigabit network switch. But, like, my motherboard that my computer is hardwired in over here, I don't know if it supports more than 1 gigabit. I also have never tried to look. Oh, it's so grungy, the fucking synth in this. Oh, it's dirty. Cat 6 supports data transfer speeds up to 10 gigabits per second at 250 megahertz with even less crosstalk interference due to cable's improved installation. However, its 10 gigabit speed is effective only up to 164 feet. Longest line in my house is 100 feet, so we're good on that. I'm trying to find out. Oh, it's so fucking good. It is an RJ45 gigabit port. Makes me... Well, the motherboard says that the back LAN port is an RJ45 port. RJ45 speeds. Fuck. All the network cables are RJ45s? Fuck. Okay. Well, you know, I was trying. That's just the shape of the 8 copper lines. You learn something new every day. I don't know. I don't even know how to look this shit up to see if my motherboard can handle more than 1 gigabit per second on the like the data transfer through its LAN port. It doesn't even say, it's like, you got a LAN port. What else do you fucking want, my guy? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I want to know how good it is. Why? Everyone's on 1 gigabit connections. I'm not me. I have a 2. Why do you have a 2? Because they gave it to me. What do you want from me? All right, I'm over it. I don't need more than 1 gigabit per second on my download right now. I just don't. I would love more on my upload, but I don't need more on my download. What is the exact name in your device manager? You know, I typed device and it was there for a moment and then it wasn't. Joke's on you. There's not a motherboard in my in my device manager. What are we looking for? Under network adapters. All right. Realtek PCIe GBE family controller, which is a 1 gigabit. Ah, I see. You don't have the one that is with Wi-Fi, right? My motherboard does have Wi-Fi, but it is disabled. And I'm just using the LAN connection on it. Like this is my motherboard right here. Port has 1 gigabit per second. Yeah, that was my guess. Most like consumer grade hardware is built at 1 gigabit per second right now, just because like that is most I feel like in terms of like higher end connections, that is the most common breakpoint is 1 gigabit. And everyone I know, including multiple of the people that I know that work for the internet service providers that we have, GCI, are like, I don't know why we're running 2 gigabit lines. There's no fucking point. I have no understanding why. No one knows why they're running 2 gigabit lines at all. Marketing. Yeah, probably. Future-proof. No, you want to know what their marketing was? You want to know what their actual like marketing is? As much as I fucking hate it, as much as I absolutely despise it, all right? Or to deal with apartment complexes. Sure, I mean, that's fine, but I don't feel like you need to advertise that. If that's what you're doing, if you're wanting to run higher end lines like 2 gigabit to 10 gigabit lines so that you can provide better service to like large complexes or like really saturated neighborhoods that have a heavy network load, just do it. Like just put it in. You don't got to advertise it, right? I don't feel like that's necessary. The thing that you advertise is these fucking I don't know how it is for anyone else's service provider, right? But what I can tell you is that for my internet service provider, you only get unlimited data with the highest package. And that is the marketing that gets a lot of people. Because the moment that you are like, 500 gigabytes should be enough for us, and then you go over and they start charging you $15, $20, $40 for data buckets, you start to realize that anything that isn't the biggest package is the one that nope. Same goes for like my cell phone. Like my cell phone, we were on. So if they make their highest package even faster, you have to move up. It's interesting. Let's take a look at their website real quick, because it's called GCI Red is the name of the package, but they also have Red Plus, and we were already on Red, and I know that they automatically moved us to Red Plus, and it didn't change our package pricing. But I don't know if there's an actual difference. You don't even get unlimited with your gig plan. You have to pay $40 a month for it. Fucking gross. Are you on like Comcast or some shit, Vandishar? Internet plans. Alaska's first 2 gig internet is here. Yeah. So these are relatively the same 4 plans that they had before. We make this bigger for mobile users and just in general readability. Cox? That's not better. Vandishar is also in NA, right? Yes, they're in North America. Southwest North America. South Central? Southwest Central? Whatever. So these are the packages that my internet service provides, right? Fast, faster, fastest, unlimited. Although, hold on. You're going to seriously call this the fastest package when it's not? When it's not? The base package is $75 a month and only gives you 250 gigabytes of data. You're considered American Southwest? Okay. Out of everything you're importing, let's hope they don't import high-speed data limit. It's the stupidest fucking shit on the planet, and it's a big-ass fucking scam, right? These data limits are fucking scams, if I've ever heard one. I hate that they exist. The one that fucked me the most was this guy. Was our phones. Me and Athena share an internet plan, and we're pretty active on our phones, and initially, the best plan that we could buy, for our phones was a shared 8 gigabytes a month limit. A shared 8 gigabytes a month for our phones. You want to know how much that didn't fucking work? Between both phones, limited to 8 gigabytes. They announced that they had a, like, it was, I don't know, like 5 years ago now. Something like that. They announced like 5 years ago that they had this no worries package plan that as long as you like had like 2 lines in an internet plan, you could upgrade to the no worries plan and you'd get unlimited data on your phone and at home. They've since changed it around a bit, of course, because they found ways to make even more money. But the day that they announced it, I was at their office like, you fucking give that shit to me right now. As much as you hate CenturyLink, they just released a 1 gig down, 1 gig up package in your area for $75 a month. Give it to me. This is mine. And this is just internet. This is just fucking internet. It's fucking gross. I don't know if they offer it anymore. Like, so this, we don't actually pay this number. I'm not sure what we pay now, but we don't pay this number. They gave us a, like when they first released the Red Unlimited plan, they offered they made an offer that if you had 2 phones that were on the unlimited mobile internet plan, that they would give you a discount permanently on this, and we are still getting that discount. I don't know if they still offer it anymore. No worries internet. 75. What? She doesn't even make sense anymore. It's not shared like Cox's? What do you mean? What do you mean it's not shared? Unlimited mobile plans. Build your plan. How many lines do you need? You'll let me click up to 10. Okay. The fuck is the difference in these? Compare plan details. The bandwidth? Okay. Here we go. I don't understand. I don't understand what these are at all, okay? Super HD. What? Does this just mean 4K? Is that what this means? Does this just mean 4K? Is this 1080p and this is 4K? Your shit doesn't make sense, GCI. The fuck? Whatever. As long as they don't charge me extra, I don't give a fuck. Is that the new standard of HD ready, but not actually HD? We'll be ready. Fucking maybe. I don't know. I don't fucking know at this point, man. This is convoluted for the sake of being convoluted, to confuse you into not knowing what you need so they can tell you that you need the more expensive one. It's the IKEA maze of trying to get a cell phone and home internet. And it's Garbo. It's big Garbo. Okay. My phone is turning a decade soon. I might need a new one. Whoa! Eve, your phone is 10 years old? Like your cell phone? Oh god. So speaking of, I just made myself old, okay? How do you guys do phones? How do you guys do phones? Because you want to know, this isn't phone anymore. This is phone. This is phone. Fucking Zoomers and shit. This is phone. Not this shit. This is phone. This is how they do phone now. And I'm like, oh. The first one is phone. This is just me like this is me with a toothache. This is me with a toothache. This is phone. The second is slap. It's like, what does this mean? How old are we? What does this mean? This means roll down your fucking window, right? I don't even know how they do it now. Do they just like point down? Like, this is roll down your window. I'm not old. I know that I am not old. I am 29. There's still a 2 in the first digit of my age, and I don't have 3 digits total. I am not old, but holy fuck, does it make me feel ancient sometimes. And like, I know that I was born at just the right point in time to experience the world and have memory of the world before the level of technology we have now. Before everything was electronic, before phones were just a flat piece of glass, right? Like, I still remember when, like, the very first computer that we got and how big of a deal as it was. And I remember, you know, the internet like going out when someone called your house, and of the internet trying to connect, because it was those old 56 kilobit dial-ups, right? Like, I remember when we moved to a DSL line, right? I remember seeing, like, the evolution of cell phones. I had one of the old Nokia bricks that you could fucking chunk into a wood chipper, and the wood chipper would break, right? Versus these things that you look at them wrong and the screen shatters, right? Like, I remember, I have the memory of before versus after, and there's lots of people now that don't have any concept of what it was before. Like, I got an 11-year-old daughter upstairs who has no concept of time before tablets and mobile gaming and cell phones doing fucking everything, right? And I'm happy for them, right? I'm really happy for the upcoming generation, because they have such a wild technological advancement, right? Like, it's cool. I fucking love technology. Technology is awesome, but it is And like I don't have anything against the Generation Z that does this for phone, right? Like obviously gestures are going to evolve, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make me feel fucking ancient. Cause it does. It makes me feel ancient. I'm like, well, yeah, well, back when I was young, we twisted the dials to the numbers, and then you had to wait. And when you called somebody, if they didn't answer, thank you for the alert, Napalm. If you called somebody and they didn't answer, you could leave a voicemail. But the voicemail, you see, the voicemail would talk through their house. They had a little box on the wall, and when you were leaving a voice, even this was like higher end phones, right? Obviously, like even voicemails newer, but like I remember. Like, I'm sure they still have them, but the phones that when you're leaving a voicemail, it would just blast the voicemail on the speaker. So if somebody wanted to, it's like, oh, I'm in the bathroom, the phone's ringing, whatever. And then you hear them leave a voicemail. It's like, oh, hey, it's Michael. And you're like, oh, I can go pick up the phone while they're leaving the voicemail. And you're like, oh, hey, sorry, I was doing a thing, right? That's not a thing anymore. Not that I think any of us want it to be. I don't think any of us want that to be a thing anymore. Because if my phone rings, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Please don't talk to me. Like, you know? But, like, it's so weird. And it's such a disconnect. Even though it's only 20 years of time. Which 20 years is so small. So small. But the amount of things that have happened in those 20 years is ridiculous. 25 years. I mean, Google is only 23 years old. They were founded in 1998. Google. If I don't have your name saved and I can't Google your number to affirm, I'm not answering. Right? Like, do I have to answer that? What if I didn't? What if we didn't answer that? Like, I don't mind that this is phone roll. I don't mind that this is phone now. Like, I don't care. It's just, it does make me feel old when I'm not old. Fuck, am I really older than Google? Probably. I believe it's 1998. Let's find out. Google. Yep, 1998. September 4th, 1998 in Menlo Park, California. So if you were born before September 4th, 1998, you are older than Google. How's that to try and like choke down, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's like if someone knocks or rings my door, unless someone has called before, I ordered or left a mail telling me that they would drop by. I'm not answering the door. I'll normally answer the door. Hell, I'll normally answer the phone. I just don't like it. Yep. It's gross, isn't it? Scott Scabbers, it's fucking gross when you're like, wait, there's no way I'm older than Google. Google's been around forever. And then you're like, oh, but I'm not old. Like, you're like, but I'm not old. Scary. I don't have a good feeling about Google being younger than me then. That's fine. That's understandable. I just don't feel like bothering. Hey, whatever, man. My phone is quite new. I just replaced my phone because I broke it. I broke my last one. My last phone was 3 or 4 years old. And I had already cracked the back glass and just didn't care. And then I dropped it again the other day and it broke the front glass. And I was like, yeah, fine, I'll get a new phone. I used this service, this GSM Arena, to search for my phone that I ended up getting. What was great is that going through this, I was only able to get like one phone, because like, so you're able to, one of the things if you ever do use this service, this GSM Arena thing, is that make sure you're searching by your internet bands, because most larger services have multiple bands. GCI only has these two options. 4G band 4 and 5G band 71. That's the only signals that actually run on GCI because they're a smaller company, even though they make fuckloads of money. But then you can also search by some other features, right? Like, one of the things that's really important to me to have in my phone is a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You mean your Wi-Fi? No, my phone's internet. Like, my regular internet signal to my phone that isn't connected through Wi-Fi. Those bands. Yeah, those ones. Like, I really wanted a 3.5 millimeter jack, and I was like, if I'm going to get a new phone, I might as well get a newer phone. So give me something that came out either last year or this year. What else was it that I wanted? I know I wanted the 3.5 millimeter jack. Those band types. Oh, where is it? I wanted an expandable storage slot. I wanted to be able to put an SD card in it. I wanted, where is it? A high refresh rate screen. I don't remember what the other thing is, because there's going to be 6 results here. But there's something else that I clicked that took it from 6 results down to 2, but I don't remember what it was. There was something else that I clicked. I don't remember what I marked anymore at all. Oh, here we go. $500 or less. Oh, we're at 3 results now. These were my options. And something took away the Nord N10. I don't remember what it was, but I had these 2 options, and the Nord N200, like, while it uses the correct bandwidth for phone internet, it doesn't work in America. So I had the option of this one. Motorola One 5G Ace is the one that I ended up with, and I was like, all right, that's the phone I got. I ended up with only one option. Thankfully, that option was only like $300. That was fucking cool compared to like the $1,200 phones that are out there now. I would say enjoy work, Vandashar, but I feel like that's just outright insulting. So have a good day, and I wish you well, and I will see you later. I'm going to put this right here. Okay, while this battle is running, I am going to run to the bathroom and then also run upstairs and refill my coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, I do need to try and record this Tarkov video, though. I did get lots of editing done. I got all of those reaction videos done and ready to go, which makes me happy. I'll get them uploaded and scheduled after we turn off the stream. But I do need to record that Tarkov video. So we're going to work on doing that. And then I'll be taking lots of breaks going through it, though, so that I can cut up the editing a bit, and also so that I can still talk to everybody. All right, gonna go random on these. Shout outs to Scott Scabbers, the name in kanji, Athena, Splitting Hair, Shashipi, myself, and Tibby82 Hun. Do I need to play? I do need to place things, but I'm not going to place the things that I need to place because I'm not gonna place healers or busters right now. Okay, we'll go to this screen. So I'm going to be doing some recording. I leave a lot of the stuff up so that you can see, like, my script. Is that really a gold loyalty chest after a green one? Yes. Here, let me show you. Like, this event's been really cool for that purpose anyway. It is a token loyalty chest, a gold loyalty chest, and we will be able to get the skin loyalty chest. All three loyalty chests are able to be gotten in this particular chapter. In the last two chapters, we were able to get a token chest and a skin chest, a token chest and a skin chest. We weren't able to get to the gold chest. This one, we're able to get all three. It's fucking cool. Anyway, so we're going to be recording a video for the armor tier list for Escape from Tarkov. I will be taking breaks in this so that I can still talk to you and stuff like that. I need to put a hat on. I already had the hat ready. You know, so random thing. You know how weird it is to me? It's not weird, okay? My ears look weird. Anyway, it's odd to me. So for when you're trying to build an audience, right? I'm a fucking weeb. You can't see them, but on the other side of that curtain back there is a whole bunch of anime figures. They were behind me, but we changed to this for spooky season, right? I'm a fucking weeb. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like what you like, as long as whatever you like doesn't hurt people, right? However, when I was getting ready this morning, I was looking in my closet for a shirt, and I knew that I was going to be recording this video, and I was like, camo. I should grab this camo because... And, like, I grabbed this camouflage shirt and this flash hat because this is still nerd-esque, right? Looking at some DC comic book shit. And then, like, this camo, and I was like, this might be more acceptable to people, to the general audience of Escape from Tarkov, right? And I'm like, man... Still feels stupid as shit that I have to even have that line of thought. That, because, like, if I was wearing like a Doki Doki Literature Club hat, which I've done before, and I don't actually give a fuck, I'm like, people will turn on the Escape from Tarkov video and be like, fucking weed. I'm just like, no, I have shit to say. Come back, please. Like, stupid. Stupid. Okay. Don't wear a Hageo shirt. I don't have one. And I wouldn't get one either. Okay, let's go in here. Order under. Oh god, that probably exists, doesn't it? Okay, I believe that I changed one of these rankings when I was building this compared to when I was building the script. I built the script first. FEDB. E, B, E, C, C, E's, C, A, C, B, D, F, D. I think I updated the script when I did it, but I'm just wanting to double check so that I don't misspeak. Is the Defender 2? This should be a B. Why didn't the kappa change? I'm confused. Oh. Because only the K needs to be capitalized. That's why. This, but without the space. Fucking weeb, don't even know why I enjoy this channel, right? I know, disgusting. Okay, this is all updated now. This is correct. I knew I changed one thing, and it was the Defender 2. Ahem. 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 Anyway, okay, so that's ready to go. This enables me to do this. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start this up. I'm gonna take breaks between each class of armor so that we can chat it up, do some chatteroonies. I don't know how long this will actually take. I don't know. I do not know, but we'll find out. We'll find out together. Okay, let me turn on the local recording for that other scene. Okay. Turn this down. All right, here we go. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan and welcome to the channel. We have another Tarkov video for you today. We're going to be talking about armors, specifically which armors I feel are good, which ones you could waste your time with, which ones might actually give you a little bit better of a chance, which ones might just need to be thrown away or sold at least to Ragman or Fence, depending on how broken they are. So this is going to be a pretty traditional tier list. We're going to be ranking the armors from F to S, F being worse, S being great. Now, there is some objectiveness sprinkled in because there is, you know, some stats and stuff based in here with like what armor, what it does to you, what penalties it incurs. I'm not going to be getting too specifics on the numbers, but there is obviously some objectiveness, but it's also very subjective in terms of my own personal experiences through thousands of hours of Escape from Tarkov across thousands of raids and everything that I've just played through and how I felt that these armors have worked out for me. Now, this isn't just strictly based on is the armor purely good or not. It's based on multiple factors such as the overall max durability of the armor, the repairability of it, how quickly it gets destroyed, how available it is, such as how much does it cost to buy or does it have available barter trades, how much does it cost to insure, because that's a very large variable right now, and my personal experience as well. Now, also, one of the other things here is that I do have them kind of split into separate classes, and each armor is ranked on its own merit. So you will see like a class 3 armor that might be at a rank B, and that does not mean that it is a truly better armor than a class 5 armor that is rank E. That just means for what it is, this is where it sits. Obviously, you would always rather be wearing a class 5 armor than you would a class 3 armor if you were given the choice, but that doesn't necessarily mean that on its own merits that class 3 armor is inherently bad. So just because it's on the same level doesn't mean that they're genuinely the same rank. Obviously, if we were just going to build this purely based off of that, class 6 armors are going to be higher towards the top, class 5s right below them, and so on and so forth. But let's go ahead and break this down by class. I think I'm going to reset the recording between each bit. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but kind of exploring the creative process with some of these longer form videos, right? So let's go ahead and start at the bottom and work our way up. We're going to be starting with class 2 armors, and there's only 3.5 of those, and you'll figure out why I say half in just a moment. So let's start with just the worst, what is probably easily the worst armor in the game, which is the 6B2 armor. This is a class 2 armor. It's the little floral one. It only gets better from here, folks. This is I don't even know why in the world you would use this. Like, you'll use it as a scav if you spawn with it or have nothing else, and maybe that's what it is. You use it if you have nothing else. If you're doing hardcore and it's the only armor you are able to come across, then cool. But otherwise, if it's the first scav you kill when you're on like a 0 to hero pistol run, it'll absorb some shotgun shots, maybe. But just leave this on the ground. Next is the Module 3M armor, the paper armor, the white one that says Tarbank on it. This is going to be sitting in that class, that tier E slot. It's better than the 6B2, but it's really bright white and it stands out. And I feel like, considering we call it the paper armor at this point, it's just a bad meme. It is better and it's made out of a better material, but we're looking at class 2s right now and it's just all junk. This is a quest armor though. You do need to turn 1 in for skier at a lower level, and then that's it. And then we'll go to the only class 2 armor that you can ever actually consider, which is the P.A.K.A. And P.A.K.A. we're going to put in that D spot. I'm so good at talking. And yes, I'm putting P.A.K.A. at D, and it's very similar to the other class 2 armors. It's not stopping a lot. You're going to be stopping shotgun, buckshot pellets, as well as like weaker bullets, up to and around 9x19 PST GZH. It can absorb a couple of those before it gives up. It's not good. I'm not going to tell you that it's good, but it repairs well. You do have to use this for a Punisher quest later on. You got to get kills while wearing it. But one of the other things that actually gives it a little bit of an edge is that it does have a decent craft associated with it. You can use P.A.K.A.s or pick them up or take them out of raid or whatever, and they can be torn apart for 2 pieces of aramid cloth. And this does give them worth and value beyond it just being a kind of weaker class 2 armor. But don't be going for these most of the time. Now, the Rivals P.A.K.A. on the other hand, we're going to be putting this in B. You know why? Because it's purple. Because it looks cool. There's so many people that want to accessorize and customize in Tarkov. We want to personalize our stuff. Now, obviously, you might not be somebody who wants to like run around like and see people with like spray painted bright green and pink guns, right? But there's so little ability to personalize yourself and have an identity yourself. The purple Rivals armor is kind of one of the only ways to do that. Unfortunately, it's really unavailable. You pretty much only can get it from drops. I don't even know if you can actually get it out of like random rolls and supply and hidden stashes. I'm not sure, but I'm going to give it a B because it looks cool. Just remember to do it, unlike last time. Oh, you mean actually hit the fucking record button? Gives you some room for thought between the sections you've just done. It also means I have to cut less out. It means that the start of each recorded bit is a more definitive start, and I don't have to trim the edges off of and like find out where I actually quit talking and stuff like that. If we had a snow map, it might be redder, right? But it's not like that will happen. Probably not. I doubt we'll see a snow map. People have wanted snow in Tarkov since Tarkov was out, but I mean, people have wanted fucking snow in Hunt Showdowns, and Hunt Showdown was out, and every developer's like, that's way more complicated than you think it is. And we're like, yeah. You're probably all like, most of us are also like, you're probably also overthinking it too, because like one of the developers in Hunt Showdown was like, you got to understand that if we put snow in, you have to be able to make tracks in the snow. And we're like, no, we fucking don't. We just want it to look different. They're like, but that's not very real. And we're like, oh my God. In Hunt Showdown, I'm hunting a demon, and in Tarkov, I can have a shotgun blow off my leg and I go, stitch, 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 I got a full leg again, right? Like, we don't give a fuck if we can see our footprints in the snow, okay? We just want it to look snowy. I'm sure somebody gives a fuck if you can see your footprints in the snow, but most people are just like, I want there to be snow on the ground. How do you want snow in a single city map that is realistic? Mm-hmm. I don't need it to be realistic. They could literally just like take a thin snow texture and just blanket it on shit and just be like, cool. Tarkov, the big company I forgot section might be a full complete indoor snow skiing resort. What? I don't understand that statement at all. I understand there's a cap in there, but I'm still lost. All right, we're gonna go into class 3. We're gonna go into class 3. So like I said, I do need to get through these. I forgot the company. Oh, Battle State Games. Hi, Kaldris. Hello. Terra? Oh, Terra Group. The bad guys. Yeah, Terra Group. Moving into class 3, so we're just gonna roll in here. So we'll start with we'll start with the pretty far on the bottom again, and that's the Untar armor. Some people call this the blueberry armor because when you have a lot of quests that you have to wear it for, especially for Peacekeeper, where you're dressed up like an Untar soldier, you're bright blue. It sucks, okay? This armor is made out of aluminum. It incurs some pretty heavy stat penalties because it's heavy. It gets destroyed really quick. It cannot eat bullets for anything. It repairs really poorly. The only redeemable factor here, the only reason it is not F is that you will pretty much always get this back from insurance. It doesn't cost that much to insure, and if you're desperate enough, you can grab some metal scissors and you can tear it apart for a couple of aluminum splints. So it at least has something. Like, it's a quest armor, you'll get it back. It's not too expensive to either buy, get, insure, and it does have an extra use, but otherwise, whoo boy, is it bad. So we'll move into what is probably my favorite armor for class 3. Unfortunately, it's not as available as I'd like, and that is the Zook 3 press armor. That's the dark blue one that says press across the chest. This is, in my opinion, the best class 3 armor. It's made out of what is largely the best material that you will get out of realistic armors. The best actual material is aramid, but only the P.A.K.A. and the Tarbank Module 3M armor are made out of aramid. This is the second best material in the game, which is the ultra high weight polyethylene. And you'll see this trend as being one of the best armors as we move through the rest of this tier list. This armor repairs really well. It holds up solidly. It doesn't get destroyed very often. It comes back all the time because, I mean, it's a class 3 armor. You can expect most of your lower level armors to come back pretty reliably. The biggest downside here is that it's just not readily available. It's not something that you can just freely buy from traders. Ragman doesn't have them. You can barter trade for these from Skier, but he wants a cat figurine, which, like, at this point in the wipe, those are dirt cheap. They sell for vendor price, which is like 29k, but early wipe, they're expensive as all get out. But when they're cheap now, class 3 armor's kind of useless. So this armor is just never accessible. You can find it pretty commonly on scavs, which is where I will normally, like, if I find it on a scav early wipe, I'm like, yes, give that to me. That's a great armor. I want it. But unfortunately, it can't be put any higher just because it's so hindered by its availability. Next, let's move to the 6B23-1. This is that kind of fluffy. It looks fluffy to me. It looks like it should be squishy, like it's just like a warm vest. And this is it's a steel armor, so it's going to fall apart pretty quickly. It does repair really well, though, but it's heavy, and the moment you get access to it in terms of being able to buy it reliably is on Ragman level 2, so when you hit level 17, at least at the time of this recording, and the moment you get access to it, it becomes obsolete. You immediately have something that is a better option available to you, so this armor sits at the E tier. It sucks. Just leave it behind. It's another one of those that if it's what you got, it's what you got. Karasa. Karasa is a C tier class 3 armor. It challenges the press armor as a class 3 armor vest. It's really light. It has really high durability and is made out of combined materials, which combined materials as a material for armor, it doesn't actually get destroyed very quickly. So it holds up for a little bit longer. It has a higher effective durability. It'll eat more bullets for you. Problem is that combined materials don't repair very well, and you can buy these, but again, much like the last armor we just talked about, by the time you're able to buy them, you have a better option available to you. Last Class 3 armor is the only Class 3 armored rig, and that is the 6B15-16 Ule. I don't know what the actual pronunciation of that is. This is probably, like, actually the best Class 3 option, but the only reason that I say that is because you can buy this at level 1. You can buy this from level 1 Ragman, although they're kind of expensive. They're 50,000 rubles, and they're almost always sold out because it is the openly accessible, easy slap on, I can put some stuff in it, level 3 armor at level 1 early wipe. And if you're not at level like 1 to like 15, if you're anything beyond that, you will just permanently have better options at the same price, if not lower. But it is the highest durability and highest effective durability in Class 3. Titan as a material doesn't repair too great, but for a rig and for its price, it works, right? But it does leave some desired for space. It doesn't have very many slots, but at the point when people are buying this out, it is what it is. But I still think that the press armor is better, and I would probably take a Karasa over this if I had the choice and pick a rig that I had more slots in. Is that a heads up, a note to yourself to take a break? What? In your script? No, I'm actually going to say these words. Relatively speaking. Not exactly, but. Okay. How are we doing on time for the battle? 8 minutes. Cool. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling. Because this one's going to take a minute. Okay, as we move into Class 4, just as a heads up, Class 4, Class 5, I don't know the exact numbers, but I swear 60% of all armors in Tarkov are Class 4 and 5. Now, they're the most, like, widely accessible, maybe because of numbers, but it's probably the ones that will have the most balance around them versus available ammunition versus what that armor can stop. But we're going to stick in Class 4 for now, and we're going to start near the bottom again. And this is, I'm going to bundle all of these together, and this is the 6B13, the 6B23, and the 6B5. Numbers and letters. You know what those mean, right? These are all the Class 4 ceramic armors, okay? The first two are the ceramic armors. The last one is the ceramic armored rig. And ceramic breaks the fastest of all the armor types, except for glass, but glass is only on face shields. Ceramic breaks really fast, and it repairs horribly. Ceramic's also really heavy, so it incurs really high penalties to you in terms of like movement speed, turning speed, and ergonomics penalties. And for some reason, the insurance on ceramic is really high too, and I don't know why. It's like everything about this sucks, so you're just gonna make sure that it's like not even cheap to make sure that I get it back from insurance. I don't understand this. Battle State, Nikita, please explain. Now, that said, it's still a Class 4 armor, so it's going to stop at 1 or 2 bullets of most like common ammunitions, especially things that might one-shot you in the thorax, things like AP-20 shells from shotguns, or if we're looking at 7.62x54 RPS rounds, what used to be, I can't remember the name of it now because I've just adjusted to the new name. This is the Mosin round that can one-tap you in the chest. Those will one-tap you most of the time. If you're not wearing any armor, if you're wearing Class 3 or less, this will give you a chance against them as long as they're not damaged. But it's not going to do much more for you. And even against smaller ammo, like if someone's shooting like 5.45 PS ammo to you, this thing's going to be fucking zeroed in like 2 bullets. It'll eat those 2 bullets, but after those 2 bullets, it's done. They're over. I don't recommend these under like any circumstance. It's still a Class 4, which gives it something, but honestly, just like you could use them as like cheap runs, especially if you pulled them off of scabs, but I wouldn't put them anywhere else. Now, speaking of cheap armors, we have one of the recently added armors, which is the Thor, and I'm going to put this at the tier C. And now, I've heard people call this the Class 4 Corund, and I know we haven't talked about the Corund yet, but we'll get there, and if you know, you know, and if not, I'll try and help you understand. This armor has really low max durability, really low, which also means that it doesn't have a very high effective durability. It's made out of combined materials, which means that it will hold up better against bullets, but it just has such a low max durability that it can't hold up for very long, even if it's made out of a good material. And unfortunately, combined materials do repair poorly. Now, that said though, it's at Class C because this thing is fucking cheap. It is 50k. Now, that said, you can't buy it until Ragman level 3, and at Ragman level 2, you will have access to a decent level 4 option that we'll be talking about in just a moment. So it's kind of one of those of like, if you wanted a cheap level 4 armor, and you didn't want it to be an armored rig, because the one that we'll talk about is an armored rig, this is how you can get a cheap level 4 armor and wear a rig of your choice. Now, let's move on to the Trooper, the USEC High Comm Trooper armor. This is easily the best Class 4 armor. Like, even factoring in rigs, barter trades, everything, this armor is so incredibly good. It's super light. It has a really high base durability, right? Its base durability, I think, is 85 off the top of my head. And it's made out of that super high weight polyethylene, which is the best material once we're past Class 2, right? It holds up really well. It repairs incredibly well. This thing is hard to destroy, and if you survive, even if it's zeroed, right, or if you get it back from insurance, if it's zeroed, you'll repair it and it'll lose 1 durability. Like, it'll go from its max from 85 to like 84, and you're like, woo, it's still basically brand new. Now, I would put this at S rank, but there's one reason why I don't, and that this armor is not available. There is no way to get these from traders. There is not a barter trade for it. You can't purchase it. The only way to get this is either if you choose USEC as your character type, you spawn with, I think, 2 of them, maybe 3, and otherwise you're pulling it out of raids. You're finding it in hidden stashes. You're getting it off of raiders, or you're finding it in the couple of world spawn that it exists in, which there's 2 world spawns on Woods, 2 on Interchange, and I think that's it. So, like, the problem is that they're just not something that you have available to you readily. And that generally makes them, like, a decent price. They're generally around 100k rubles off the flea market. But even beyond all that, they have an additional benefit, which is like, let's say you manage to, like, you're either done with it or you wear it out. These are involved with the barter trade to get the Class 6 Slick Plate Carrier armor, which is one of the best armors in the game. It takes 2 of these and a little bit of cloth to Ragman level 4 and you get a Slick. So there's like almost no downsides to the High Comm Trooper armor. The only downside is that they're difficult to get, but otherwise the armor is incredible. But let's move, let's bring it back down. Let's bring it back down. So 6B3TM, this is a Class 4 armored rig. You know how we talked about all those Class 3 armors earlier? Like, oh, by the time you're able to reliably buy these, they won't matter anymore. This is why. This is an armored rig, and it's a pretty damn solid one. It only costs 50k from Ragman, which is the same price as the Class 3 armored rig, by the way. I don't know how that balances out, but it's the same. It is lacking some max durability. It's only got 40. It's made out of Titan, so it doesn't hold up the longest, but it can eat some rounds. It's really cheap, and you can trade 4 broken ones in for a new one from Ragman. So if you've really thrashed these and you don't want to repair them or whatever, you can trade 4 for a fresh one. They're not bad. They're not bad. They're not great, which is why they're at C and not any higher, but they're not bad either. Let's go into the M rigs. M1 we're putting at B. Now, the only reason this is at B is because it has an alright barter trade. You can barter trade this to Ragman for 4 Aquamaris and 1 Kvass. And all of this is craftable. You can craft both Aquamaris and the Kvass at your nutrition station, so you can make this armor really cheap, right? And it's a decent loot rig as well. It has 2 2x2 slots, so you can throw some helmets or like a propane and a motor in there. But it's not the best armor otherwise. It's just an easily accessible one that is actually decent for looting, which is why we'll put in that B slot. And we'll compare it to, we'll just say its sister armor, which is the M2 rig. They look the same. They're very similar in terms of function, but we're putting this at D because it has a really awkward barter trade that is just like not good. There's no purchase options for it otherwise. It doesn't repair the best. It works if you get it, like if you pull it off of like a scav guard or a boss guard or something like that. It's fine, but it's not good, right? It's just not good. But that doesn't mean that there's not something worse. And there is something worse, unfortunately, right? Unfortunately. And it's unfortunate this is as bad as it is. The Osprey MK4A we're putting down at the bottom, tier F tier armor. Is it as bad as F tier? No, but there's a reason that it's there. This one is F tier strictly because of its price, okay? You can only buy this from, I think it's level 3 Peacekeeper, and it cost $1,500, which is nearly 200,000 rubles. Oh, that's so much. That's so much. It's a decent rig. Like, it's got good, like, loot slots in it, but it's so expensive. You are paying for the same level of protection as these 50k armors that you're paying 4 times that for the same level of protection. And it doesn't even give you any significantly larger amount of protection. But even worse than that, it has arm armor, which I've not touched on this yet. This is the first armor that we've come across that has arm armor. And if a rig or an armor has arm armor on it, it is instantly worse. Instantly worse. The reason being, your armor's durability goes down regardless of where your armor is hit. Okay? So if someone shoots you in the arm and it takes out 15 durability of your armor, you now have lost 15 durability of what protects your chest. And that's awful. Because you don't, if your chest goes to 0, you die. But if your arm goes to 0, you're like, fuck, my arm's off. So you can have your armor completely trashed and have no protection for your chest because someone shot you in the arm. Arm armor, terrible. Absolutely terrible. This thing's overpriced. Never get it. Never touch it. Absolutely use it, though, if you pull it out of a stash or something. But otherwise, just avoid it at all costs. Please, I beg of you. Next, the AVS rig. I know a lot of people that really love this rig, and I just don't think that they realize that it's not as good as they think it is. Feel free to disagree with me if you want, but I put this at a D tier armor. It's an armored rig. It isn't great. If it was more accessible, I could maybe put it at least at C tier, because it is a pretty decent loot rig, but the barter trade for it requires 2 golden TTs. You need to get 2 of Rashala's pistols. You need to kill a boss, hunt him down, kill him, and have him have his pistol on him twice just to get this armor once. Now, there is another one, and that uses shampoo that you can craft, but it takes way too many shampoos, and shampoos are used for other better barter trades in other directions, so it's not worth it to use them here. It's made out of combined materials, but it's really heavy. It slows you down. It has some severe stat penalties. It's really here's what AVS rigs are good for. When you find them on other people and you want to carry out as much loot in the raid as possible. I would not rely on them for protection myself, but in terms of shoving more loot into my bag to haul out, AVS rigs are great for that. But otherwise, I largely won't touch them. Now, the A18, this is another armored rig. This is another really good loot rig. It's got so many slots. It doesn't have any 2x2 slots, but it has like 15 fucking 1x2s, right? So much friggin' space for loot. This is a C tier armor. Now, the reason that this is C is because it does have a slightly better barter trade. You can trade this for 5 whiskeys to get this. Now, this does make it a little bit expensive, but you are able to craft the whiskeys, and ultimately that's still cheaper than the Osprey we talked about earlier. If you're crafting the whiskeys, you can keep the cost down. It has a really high durability, and being made out of decent materials means that you actually have a significant amount of protection. It doesn't repair the best, though, so you won't be able to repair it that many times, but it'll serve you pretty damn well. Now, let's get to the big one in Class 4, the TV-110. Now, the TV-110 I'm putting as a B tier armor. Now, this is probably the most used armor in Escape from Tarkov. I'm not sure if there's any way to test those numbers, right? But I'm pretty sure that the TV-110 is used more than any other armor in the game by PMCs. And it's not without reason, okay? It's a really, really good loot rig. You have so much space in here. You got 2 2x2 slots. You got some 1x3 slots. You got extra slots. You can shove so much stuff into this TV-110 rig. Bop, bop, bop. This guy can fit so much loot in it. It provides decent protection. It's got a high max durability, and it repairs really well. It's got one of the best barters in the game. You only need 4 bleach and 2 shampoo, all of which you can craft really cheaply in your lavatory and your hideout. And you can even purchase this at a good price. When you get to Ragman level 4, which requires you to be level 42, you purchase this from Ragman. I think it's like for 109k. It's really 101, 110k. It's really cheap. It's super cheap. Now, the reason that I didn't put this higher, though, is that steel armor breaks really quickly. So it does have that high 85 durability, but it's not even as high effective durability as the A18, which only has 80, because the material that it's made out of just breaks so much faster. And you are damn near never getting this armor back, because everyone knows it repairs really well. And like I said with the AVS rig, fuck yeah, I can shove this in my bag and shove so much loot in it. You never get these back, which is why it's a B tier armor, because like it provides good but not great protection. It's good and accessible, but god damn, do you never get them back if you die. Like, oh god, they're gone. So unfortunately for the, like, it's so good, but it has just a couple of drawbacks that keeps it from being truly great. Let's run that battle. Also, good morning, Athena. Or, yeah, it's still morning for 2 minutes. 2 minutes! Let's go. Let's charge up. Let's charge up there. It's only a flesh wound. For a second thought, I thought you meant IRL money. I almost dropped my phone. Funny. It's morning whenever you eat breakfast. It's never morning for me then. I don't eat breakfast. So it's just never morning for me. I'm sad now. AVS are perfect for pistol case space where you can keep your mods and grips. Yeah. That mean there's never a morning for Schwan because I don't eat breakfast? Breakfast is defined as the first meal of the day, I say, as someone who eats dinner for breakfast. Yeah, but like, that means that I'm like, so like I'll wake up at 7:30 a.m. and eat breakfast at 12:30 p.m. when I'm having lunch. Even if I'm eating breakfast, like breakfast food, like, I think most people define breakfast as the meal that you eat within the first few hours of being awake. But you have a coffee. Coffee is my breakfast. Nice. Where are we going? Is there a treat bag or something? Oh no, there's one dude here. Okay. Opens the box. Wow. One berserker. It could be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills going to Athena with 44. Second place to Scott Scabbers and El Caniano with 17. And myself in third place with 16. Most assists to Kaldris with 7. Second place to Splitting Hairs with 4. Third place to TB82 Hun with 3. A quick shout out to Athena and Scott Scabbers with 2. Sorry, I personally define it as the first meal of the day. Yeah, it's like the only reason that I say that I don't eat breakfast though is because I'm awake for 4 to 5 hours before I eat my first meal of the day. And so most people will be like, you didn't eat breakfast. You didn't eat. Coffee is my favorite breakfast. Yes. Coffee is my favorite breakfast too. It's the only breakfast. It's the only breakfast that matters. Cinema with Scott Scabbers. Oh my goodness gracious. Knock, knock, motherfucker. Let's make this a big boy. It's a big boy. I don't normally eat anything. I'm trying to do a little something in the morning. I had really bad stomach acid problems to the point that I was diagnosed with GERD. And like I got some GERD medicine and stuff like that, and that helped get the acid under control. But the thing that actually like solved the problem was just not eating in the morning. As like silly as that sounds, right? GERD is not gout, right? No. And I think it's actually spelled G-E-R-D. Yeah. Gastroesophageal reflux disease. And the thing that the two things that have helped the absolute most with not having any issues with this is not eating in the morning and avoiding breads. I can still eat bread, but if I eat too much bread, I get heartburn, effectively. So, yeah. American bread is quite... That's a good point, Athena. American bread's, like, hyper-processed, has a lot of sugar and shit in it. Like, I don't know if maybe, like... normal bread, traditional bread, I don't know what the fuck to call it. Might be different, right? Really what, Eve? Bread to me is brown. The outside of some of our bread is brown. Some of it. Yeah, our bread, even our bread that isn't white, Eve, because like even our just like standard wheat bread that is brown on the inside is still sugary compared to the bread in most of the rest of the world. Like it is sweeter bread. All right, let's get through this class 5. Let's get through class 5. A little no sugar that goes into bread baking. America says you're wrong. All right, let's get into those class 5 armors now. The first one, we mentioned it earlier. We'll talk about it now, and that is the Corund, which is a C tier armor. All right, the Corund. It has the second lowest durability in the entire game, and I'm not talking about like for class 5s. I'm talking about the whole game, both its max durability and its effective durability, second lowest in the game. Now, it is a class 5 armor, which means that it can stop a lot. It just can't stop a lot, right? It stops like 2 bullets. Basically, no matter what those bullets are. But it'll stop big bullets, which is why we like it, right? And it's also really cheap for a class 5 armor. There's 2 options to pick this up from traders, both of which are from Prapor. At Prapor level 3, you can barter trade him for diaries to pick it up. You'll find diaries a lot in safes, sometimes in jackets. You could also find him in like filing cabinets and stuff. Or when you hit Prapor level 4, you can just purchase it for 112,000 rubles. 112,000 rubles is actually like really, really cheap, especially for a class 5 armor. It's the higher, I mean, that's cheaper than a few of the class 4 armors that we just got done talking about. And it's really cheap to insure. I'd like really cheap. It costs like 18k to insure this thing. It's so cheap. It repairs really well. Like it starts at 45 durability. You'll repair it and it'll go to like 44. It repairs really well. And you'll get these back a lot because people think that they're completely trash. And most of the time when you die with one on, it's zeroed for the mentioned, like I told you, it takes like 2 or 3 bullets to zero this thing. So they'll be zeroed a lot. You'll get them back a lot. You can repair them up to max pretty easily. And people think that they're crap, and they're not entirely wrong, but you could also definitely do a lot worse than a Karund. You're kind of only good for like one firefight. You kind of need to play around the idea that you're wearing a Karund if that's what you're going in with. But you could do significantly worse. You could also do better. But speaking of worse, the Redut M. Okay? This is that green one, right? That kind of looks like a green Karund. Now, why isn't this armor better? Okay, I don't understand. I feel like this armor should be better than it is. But here's the problem. Okay, it's heavy. It's really heavy. Like, and that's a problem in Tarkov, right? Like, because if you get overweight, you start to make more noise. You can't move around as fast. You're sacrificing mobility and the ability to move around your opponent. And you're sacrificing a lot of that because it is so heavy. It comes with these movement speed penalties. And it does absorb an okay amount of bullets, but it repairs really poorly. But you normally can get these for cheap, and that's the only redemption here, is that oftentimes you can find these on the flea market for like 80K. They're cheap. They're super cheap. There's a reason they're cheap, though. Like, I would probably... the only reason that I wouldn't put this higher, like, up near the Karund is because you are relying on them being cheap on the flea market, and that's not necessarily guaranteed. There's not really an option easily or cheaply to get them otherwise. So, like, I would probably always go for the Karund over the Redut, especially because the Karund has significantly smaller penalties, and it's cheaper, just in general at base, and will repair better and will often surprisingly come back more often. Like, people will just, like I said, people have this idea in their head that Karunds are just trash, so then they never take them. But people will see a Redut M and be like, oh yeah, give me that. And I'm like, you don't want it, trust me. All right, we're gonna bundle the next 3 armors together, and it's the Gen 4 kits. Then there's 3 of these. There's the Gen 4 high mobility, there's the Gen 4 assault, and the Gen 4 protection, and they're going to be tier D, tier E, and tier F respectively. Now, these armors, they all weigh way more than they look like they should weigh, right? Like, they're all heavy with high penalties. But one of the other problems is that they either can't be acquired through your traders, or they have really bad barter trades. There's just not an option to pick them up under any normal circumstances. They repair okay, but it's not great either. But the difference between these kits is the high mobility kit gets put in D because it doesn't have arm protection. Going back to that previous conversation about arm protection, doesn't have it, so it's a little bit better than the others. It gets put in that D slot. And like, if it was able to be gotten by some other means, we might be able to squeeze it a little bit higher, but we just can't. The other ones both have arm protection. They're really bad. The assault kit's better than the full protection kit because the assault kit's a little bit lighter. You can move a little bit better with it. It provides the same protection coverage as the full protection one. Like, it covers the same zones. It just doesn't have as high of durability, but they get destroyed pretty easily, so it's not like you're doing anything with the other one. The protection one is just worse. Like, it's just worse for no reason beyond that it just wants to be worse. So yeah, DEF for all of these. Now, the Gazelle. That kind of cool looking white armor, right? That is a 3x3 that you're like, yeah, class 5. No, let's just keep rolling on that hate train. This armor's bad, okay? Like, this armor's real bad. It's ceramic. We talked earlier about ceramic armors, and ceramic, that stuff crumbles in a stiff breeze. You get it wet and it starts just falling apart and needs to be remolded, right? You can buy these for a decent price after completing a semi-end game Ragman quest. You can buy them for like 118K or something like that. But at that point, just buy the Karund. The Karund is a better armor than the Gazelle. I can't think of almost any situation where I would rather a Gazelle over the Karund. So just use the Karund, ignore the Gazelle unless, I don't know, if it's what you got, you do, like, it's not found in raid, you can't sell it or something, fine. But otherwise, this armor's trash. Now, the Defender 2. The Defender 2, the Ford Defender 2, I kind of look at it as like a baby slick that is just kind of worse, so maybe I shouldn't make that comparison. But anyway, it weighs a lot, okay? Like, it does. It's one of the heavier armors in the game that isn't like a full body protection armor. But it doesn't have that bad of like movement speed penalties for it weighing so much. So I guess they were just like, the ergonomics of this armor is really good, even though it's heavy. It repairs insanely well. Really, really well, because it's made out of the same stuff that the Slick is. Unfortunately, much like the Slick when we get there, its insurance cost is really high. Really high. And the other problem is that you cannot get this armor anywhere. There are no barter trades for it. You can't purchase it. You can only find it in raid out of either hidden stashes or off of raiders, or I think on the rare occasion you can find it on boss guards. So it's just not a very easily available armor, but it's a really good one. It does give you some really, really good protection, which is why I'm putting it as a B tier armor. Now, the Rita T5. I'm putting it as a C tier. It's not a C tier armor. I'm putting it at C because it's got the meme potential. It's got the meme potential. It's heavy. It makes you slow. It does have high durability. It's got 100 durability. It's made out of combined materials, which means it absorbs bullets for days. The armor kind of makes it suck. But here's the reason you're getting this, right? You're getting this because it looks like a fucking suit of samurai armor. You're putting this on. You're like, I look like a samurai. I'm going to go talk to Skier. He's going to give me a fucking sword, and we're going to charge people. I watch people do this. It's some of the funniest shit in the world, man. And that's the only reason it's C tier. Otherwise, you need to drop this thing down to the ground, right? Like E tier, right? But otherwise, it's not something you want. But it is good for memeing and good for, yeah, it's good for memeing. Okay, the 6B13M, what we all call the Killa armor. Okay, Killa's armor is amazing. Killa's armor is usually one of the top 5 armors in the game, like easily. It has great stats, good durability, low stat penalties, repairs insanely well. There's a couple issues with it though. The first is that the only place to get it is off of Killa himself, which Killa's fucking scary. And it's even more of a challenge now to try and kill Killa because you gotta fucking find his ass, right? He's somewhere in the entire goddamn Mega Mall, hiding in a corner, and you're like, where's this boss at? And then he yeets you down with a bunch of bullets, or he tosses a grenade in your bum, and you're like, well, good game, Killa. I'll see you next time. But I mean, if you can get his armor, it's such a good armor. A couple other issues though. Its insurance cost is actually like really nutty. I don't know why. Like, it's really high. I don't know why, but it is. It's really high. Also, you will never get this back. Unfortunately, it does have these pretty significant drawbacks, which is why it's A tier and not S tier. If we're looking objectively at just stats, S tier armor. But availability, insurance costs, and that it is never coming back to you if you die, drops it from S down to that A tier. Now, the Tech. The Tech is, I think, our first armored rig outside of the one that we just kind of tossed in with the other shit ceramics and stuff, right? The Tech, this should be higher, okay? This would have been a B, but recently, in terms of when this video was recorded, they removed the good barter trade for the Tech, and there is still a barter trade for it, but it's just not as good. It used to be that you could trade like 2 vases and 2 antique team pots for it, and that was a great barter trade. And no, it was chainlets. You could trade a bunch of the regular fucking silver chainlets and like a vodka or something like that, and you could get a Tech. And the other one is just like awful. It's a terrible barter trade. So they removed the ease of accessibility of this armor. It's a decent armor. It's made out of that ultra high weight polyethylene, so it's the best material, which also means that its insurance cost is lower. It doesn't have a ton of loot space in it, but unfortunately now it's just not accessible to the point that I could put it above C tier. Now, the Osprey MK4A. Now, you might be like, didn't you already say that? Yes, there are 2 that have the exact same names. I think one's called like the Assault and one's called Protection or something like that. They look exactly the same. One's class 4, one's class 5. Now, you remember what we put that other one in F tier, right? What would you talk about? We're like, man, that armor is trash because it's so expensive. So what if I told you, for the exact same price as that class 4 armored rig, you could instead get the same armored rig, but class 5? Ta-da! This is a C tier armor. Realistically, it's like $80 more, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not very much. So you're still looking at it paying around $200K for the armor. It is significantly better than its class 4 counterpart, strictly because of the change in class level. Class 5 is significantly better than class 4. That is a genuine jump in terms of the bullets that people are using and what it'll stop. It unfortunately can only be purchased after a really annoying peacekeeper task. It's peacekeeping mission, the one where you got to kill a bunch of scavs on each map while dressed up like an idiot. But its price just still feels a little hefty, but genuinely looking at it, this is actually a pretty good price for this armor if you do complete that peacekeeping mission task. It's an easily accessible class 5 rig that will provide you genuine protection, although I still give it that knockoff for having that arm protection on it, because that's a genuine drawback. The AACPC. The Arms Arma CPC Carrier, or whatever the fuck it stands for. This is my armor. This is my armor. No, this is my favorite armor, my personal favorite armor. And in my opinion, it is the best armor in the game. Now, statistically, is it? No. But I will give you the reasons why. This is our first of what will be a total of 3 S tier armors. This is an S tier armor. It is super light, and it has almost no penalties for wearing it, okay? The insurance costs on this thing, for whatever reason, are really low. It only costs like $30K to insure this thing. I don't know why, especially like that Defender 2 we were talking about earlier. That thing is worse than this and costs like $70K to insure. Nikita, please make it make sense. And I say that, and he's just going to make all of them expensive to insure, and I'm going to regret this. Anyway, so it's really light. It's really low penalty. The insurance costs are low, and it also has what is, in my opinion, the best barter trade for it in the game. You need 3 Cordura cloth, 3 ripstop cloth, and 1 whiskey. All of these you can craft in your hideout. The cloth is crafted for pennies. You can either buy the whiskey or craft the whiskey in your nutrition station. You can get this armor for like $80K. You can get this for cheaper than most class 4 armors. Almost all of the other class 5 armors that we've mentioned, you can get it for so cheap. It won't come back, right? Like, if somebody finds this, they're going to take it. This armor's so good. It's a good loot rig. It's got a 2x2 slot, so you can toss headphones, helmets, propane, motor, whatever in that slot. A lot of other slots. It's, like I said, it's light, so people are like, I can even haul this shit out with the shit that I already got. It's not coming back, but that doesn't take it down enough to take it out of that S tier. It's so good. I cannot express to you just how good this armor genuinely is. And like, if you're someone that likes to run reserve, boom, incredible friggin' armored rig, and you can still take the Cliff Descent extract. I love this armor. I have not found anything that genuinely challenges this armor on all of these stats in terms of cost, weight, stat penalties, insurance costs, availability, ease of access. I guess you could say you need to be level 42 because you have to have Ragman level 4 to do the barter trade, but it's so good. It's so good. Do the grind, get it up there, and you will have access to one of the cheapest, most easily accessible, best armors in the game, and it's absolutely worth it. Where are we at? 11 minutes. Perfect. That's what knives are from, right? Ceramic knives. Yeah, you just smash up a gazelle and you just make a knife, and you're like, cool. If your stash is 3 spaces too short to store a Karun compared to a gazelle, that's the only reason why I had like 2 gazelles in my stash. Fair. Not a great argument, but it is fair. Rita T5, I want it if it wasn't blocked behind the supervisor quest. What sucks most about it? I forget what the supervisor quest is. Ragman's quest I don't find to be particularly challenging, though. Most of his quests are just like, they just require a lot of visits to them all. None of them are particularly annoying, right? Like, they're not like they're not like the you know, get 5 kills on interchange at night, or get, you know, 6 kills in the factory area, in the office area of the factory, or, you know, jump on 1 foot from 300 meters up and then do a 360 no scope at a distance of 250 meters in someone's head using a pistol. That's a joke. Those quests are worse to do, but not worse to get. That's all right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The only thing is that I feel like at the point where you're looking at these armors, then in terms of trying to determine which one is best, you should be roughly around that point anyway. Like if you're level 24, you know, or even 31 or whatever, you're not quite yet at the point where you're going, what's the best class 5 armor in the game, right? Like you generally need to be farther along for these types of differences to matter. At least in my opinion. All right. Class 6, an outro. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. And yes, welcome back, Scott Scabbers. Welcome back. And so we have arrived at the top tier of Tarkov's armors. No, I'm not going to say top tier, just the highest defense level, right? Okay, these are class 6 armors. And let's start at the bottom, because that's just kind of how this has been going, right? The Zabralo is a tier E armor, E tier. It is class 6, okay? But I see way too many people that are like, I'm gonna put it on a Zabralo and an Alton, and I'm a walking tank. And I'm like, yeah, you're a walking tank that can't walk very fast, okay? Like, you are so slow. This thing has like a 47% movement speed penalty or something on it. Like, you're so slow. It's stupid. It does give a lot of protection, right? Like, it's got a huge amount of durability, but it's got that armor on it that kind of takes it down. The only thing that actually helps it here is that it has a lot of barter trade options for it. Like, you can trade like some thermite and something for it from Prapper. You can trade an Asa straight 1-for-1 from Mechanic. Most of those keep it like relatively cheap, like depending on the price of like those materials on the flea market or if you find them yourself. But it's just not worth it. You're taking way too significant of penalties for not actually that large of a benefit. You're not a tank. Stop thinking that you are. Next is the class 6 Thor armor. This is one of the newcomers to Tarkov. And this is, you know, this is one of the things that like Battlestate Games added. And I can't help but look at it and go, why? This is an F tier armor. Like, yes, it's class 6, but that doesn't help it here. I don't understand. You know, people will criticize Battlestate like, why'd you add this gun? And they're like, for the sake of adding guns. And I guess that same argument could be made for this, but I don't understand what the pitch is here for the class 6 Thor. It is class 6, but it has the same amount of penalties as the Zabralo does in terms of like overall weight and movement speed and stuff like that. But it doesn't come with any durability either. Like, it's super easy to destroy. It has no durability. And I don't understand, right? It's also really expensive. The only reliable way to get this is to buy this from Endgame Ragman, and it's like 400k. And it's garbage, and I don't understand. Like, it's literally like Battlestate like looked at the Zabralo and were like, what if we did this again, but made it worse? And then the Thor was born. It's not like the Thor level 4 is like, oh, this is a cheap, not super great, but easily accessible and able to be used class 4 armor. The Thor level 6 is not that. It's just bad. I don't know why it's in the game, but you know, whatever. By all means, it exists. Now, this one breaks my heart. This is the Zook 6. This is a level 6 armor. Now, this would have been a C tier armor. This would have been a C tier armor. Because there was a good barter trade for the Zook 6. Keyword there being was. One day, without an announcement or anything, the barter trade just disappeared. It's not in the game anymore. And that removed the only way to actually reasonably get this armor. That barter trade was, I think it was 3 vases and 2 teapots, or vice versa, or swap them around, 3 teapots and 2 vases. I don't remember anymore, and I can't look it up because they took it off the wiki. So, but it was an all right trade. You could like for like 140, 150k get the materials to get this, and you'd have an all right class 6 armor. It's not too heavy. The penalties aren't too bad. It is ceramic. So, like, it breaks really fast, but it had higher durability, and it was still a class 6 ceramic, so it would, like, I mean, stop basically anything, you know, outside of the things that nothing can stop. And I don't understand why they, like, you can't buy it. You can't trade for it anymore. You never see this on raiders or boss guards. You can occasionally find it out of a hidden stash. It took it out of a consideration of, like, what was genuinely a mid-tier Class 6 armor to just being dead. And it's really unfortunate that that is where we are. And I don't understand why that change was made. They could have made the barter trade worse if they felt like it was too cheap. But instead they just took it out completely. And it kind of just killed this armor as an option. Getting to the end now. The Tequila Rig. This is a new armor. This is added with the new boss that was added to Factory, Tequila. Tequila's rig is boss. Now, it isn't perfect, though, okay? I would honestly call the AACPC perfect. That armor is perfect, and that's why I consider the best armor in the game. It's my favorite. Tequila's rig is close, though, but it does come with some drawbacks, okay? But it's not enough to keep it from getting that S tier slot. It definitely deserves it. What are the drawbacks to the Tequila rig? One, you can only get it from Tequila, and Tequila is only on Factory, and Factory is a meat grinder. Now, that said, lots of people run Factory. You can run Factory very quickly, and that means that the Tequila rig is abundant. He's always wearing it. It's guaranteed. It's kind of like Killa's armor. He's always wearing it. There are so many of these normally available on the flea market that they actually stay down in price. You can normally get the Tequila's rig at some level of durability, right? Even if it's zeroed, which it repairs okay. But, like, anyway, you can normally get it for around 150,000 rubles, which is really cheap, really, for a Class 6 armor. I mean, it was one of the arguments that I wanted to give for the Zook 6, right? That's pretty cheap. Even if you have to repair it, it repairs for a decently low price. It repairs moderately well. But even if you lose, like, 4 durability out of its base 50, 60, shit, I forgot. Anyway, you're still rocking a mostly brand new Class 6 armor that you did not pay very much for. The only other, like, significant downside to Tequila's rig is that it only has 6 1x2 slots in it, so you can't hold very much in it. But it's a Class 6 armor, and it's a good one that holds up, right? So, and it's pretty cheaply accessible. It deserves that S tier slot. Now, the great debate. The great debate that has been held ever since these two armors were added to the game at the exact same time, which is the Hex Grid Plate Carrier and the Slick Plate Carrier. Both are Class 6 armors that only defend your thorax. And I feel it is best to actually talk about these together since they are so often juxtaposed. People so often ask which one is actually better between the Hex Grid or the Slick. And I will tell you objectively which one is better, and I will tell you subjectively which one you should use, and those actually end up being the same here, okay? Now, in terms of strict statistics of the defense that they offer, they are basically the same. Now, I know the Hex Grid only says its max durability is 50, and the Slick's max durability is 80. But the Hex Grid is made out of that incredible material, the ultra high weight polyethylene. The Slick is made out of steel. And with the way that those two materials break down, the Hex Grid has an effective durability of 114. The Slick has an effective durability of 118. So they effectively will stop the same amount of bullets, even if the numbers are different. Both of these materials repair extremely well. They both repair so good. Although the Hex Grid does repair slightly better, although it never really feels that way because you're working with repairing off a smaller number versus the Slick's higher number. And they both have decent barter trades available to them. We mentioned the Slick barter trade earlier with 2 troopers and a couple pieces of cloth to get it. And you can trade some Ushanka flappy hats, the round sunglasses, and the Shamaska masks for the Hex Grid. And they work out to be about the same price. Even on the flea market, these will normally stay about the same price. At the time of this recording, they're floating around somewhere between 225 to 325k, and obviously it depends on how broken they are. Even if they're broken, they repair so well, it's not a big deal. There are a couple things that set them apart. One, the Hex Grid is slightly lighter and has ever so slightly smaller stat penalties, okay? So in terms of like strict stats, the Hex Grid is technically the better armor, although they are so close to the same that it does not matter. But there is a real reason why I'm about to put these armors where they are, okay? The Hex Grid is an S tier armor. The Slick is an A tier armor. Here's the reason why, okay? They both take up the same amount of slots. They're both 3x3s. They both cost the same. They both have good barter trade, same stats, okay? They both repair the same. For whatever reason, at least at the time of this recording, you can insure a Hex Grid for like 45K. And a Slick will cost you like 100K to insure. Why? I don't know, but it is such a painful difference of the insurance cost. Now, obviously, most of the time you're not getting these back. The only time I would ever recommend insuring these, if maybe you're like hunting cultists at night, because night raids are really light on players, and if you die to cultists, any other players that try that might find your body, you're probably also going to die to the cultists. If you're hunting bosses at night, same argument, as long as it's not kill on interchange, because a lot of people play interchange at night, so you could insure it under those circumstances, or you can insure it if you're running with friends and they can just toss it somewhere safe-ish or completely safe for you. If you're running solo during like day customs, don't insure this unless you want to try and insurance fraud it, but the insurance price, especially on the Slick, is so high that unless you're pulling out someone else's Slick, you are not actually getting value out of this. And with the way the insurance is set up currently, that's why Slick is an A tier armor. If either of these gets adjusted in either direction, move them accordingly. If the insurance for the Hex Grid, like if they ever, like this is to set them apart, is these insurance costs. If the Hex Grid suddenly becomes expensive to insure, then we either need to decide if we're putting both of them in S tier because they're the same, or if they need to both be put down to A tier. Probably both in S tier. They both deserve to be in S tier. There is this one major drawback with the Slick at this point in time that does define a difference between them. But ultimately, outside of that insurance cost, they're both great armors. Just use whichever one you want. Now, that is it for this tier list. What were your thoughts? Am I wrong? Do you disagree? I would love to hear it. It's not like tier lists are ever controversial. Am I right? If you do want the actual like full image that you've probably seen a couple of times, we're blinking around and stuff here with the different sections, of which I will leave a link to it down in the description below, so you can just take that and reference it as well, so that you can just see where I've put everything in accordance with everything that we've broken down for you at this point in time. Now, please leave your thoughts of what you did agree with, what you didn't agree with, what you would have said or done differently down in the comments below. Or great place to keep up the conversation with me is on Twitter or Discord. We have dedicated channels in our Discord server to Tarkov where we can talk about this stuff. I'm in there a lot playing games with other people in the Discord, just running raids in Tarkov and stuff. You're more than welcome to join us. I hope to see you there. We do stream Tarkov on Tuesdays most of the time. Sometimes we'll blend in something else if we've played too much Tarkov. I do stream other days of the week as well, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I would love to see you at any of those days. There's also lots of other videos on the channel, including those dedicated to Escape from Tarkov. I'd really appreciate if you check them out and leave your feedback for those as well, but we're going to get out of here, so if you do watch one of those other YouTube videos, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. All right, we're done. What about the tier list itself? Are you going to move mouse and circle around stuff while talking about it, or zoom in and out when you talk about it? I'll figure that out when I actually edit the video. I will figure that out when I actually edit the video. At this point in time, not exactly sure. Napalm's in my a-hole. He filled up the whole hole. I know what I said. I don't know what to place where, so I'm just going to curse this group and we're going to move on. Get those doors, Eve. Get those doors. Get them. Get those doors. Fuck you, Stream Raiders. Doors are not a priority target for flying rogues. They are such a priority. How dare you? You don't even know how much of a priority those are. Said it would pro target the candy treat bag. I need candy if I want the skins. Yeah. Is there a treat? Who's gonna get it? We got 3 Scott Scabbers tanks here. Wait, where are you going? Are you? Oh, there's a treat bag over there too. Where are we going? Are we going for the treat bag? I feel like we're going for doors. Like Athena's mage and Shoshipi's archers are definitely. Nope, nope. Doors. Oh. Do they not test anything before they put shit out? I don't understand, right? You know the answer by now. I do. I just don't like it. Money! 1,669 channel points can get you 200 gold. Both skills going to myself, 26. Second place to Athena with 22. Third place to Eve and Shoshipi with 8. Is all them doors you chewed up. Most assists going to Scott Scabbers with 17. Second place to Napalm with 7. And third place to my... Oh, wait. Second place with me with 8. Third place Napalm with 7. Napalm wants that gold. You got it. I think it's Statty 6's placements or so. Not sure. They mentioned it at some point. Okay. All right. Give Napalm that gold. And that's where we're stopping. We got 3 videos edited, including thumbnails and video descriptions. We had a bunch of really great conversations. I get to go into a silver chest next with 2 battles to build up viewers and placements before we get to the skin chest. Yeah, good stream. Good stream. I appreciate all of you for being here, keeping me company, chatting it up, talking about stuff, breaking down internet details and stuff. Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Take this off. I don't want this on my head anymore. So, in terms of the future, I have the next 2 days off work. I don't work on Monday and I don't work on Tuesday. So that gives a lot of time to do like extra stuff. Thank you for the hydrate, Scott Scabbers. I really should take another drink. Especially all of that talking in those recordings. So workouts? No. No. You funny though. You funny. That leaves the option for more content, right? Obviously, me and Athena share the same streaming setup. I know Athena had mentioned potentially doing some sort of bonus streams as well. We were talking to another streamer about maybe joining them on their stream either later today or tomorrow for some Back for Blood. We played that on Athena's stream last night. It's like it feels even better than the beta, which is surprising to me. I mean, I suppose that's what you want to have happen, right? Is that the release version is better than the beta, but that's not how it always works, right? So I don't know if that's actually happening or not. I've not checked to see if I've had any communications with the other individual at this point in time. That could be happening later today, could not be happening at all. I don't know. I want to, like, I could also do bonus streams of my own, play some Friday Night Funkin', start up a new game or something like that. I was doing like these extra shorter bonus streams where I played like a couple hours a game that I wanted to play, and we were playing Tales of Arise. But then me and Athena talked about it, like, we should really play this on Power Couple, especially because the main characters are male identifying and female identifying, which means that like I can do the voice for the dude and she can do the voice for the chick, you know? So, which we enjoy doing. We enjoy doing that voice acting stuff, you know? So, and it's not all voice acted the same way that like a very heavy amount of AI the Somnium files is voice acted. So start Tales like the original one, go through it all, like do a Tales Legacy. If okay, so here's the if I didn't have to work a 9 to 5, right? If I didn't have to work a 9 to 5 and had significantly more time to like do longer streams, I would love to do stuff like that, but I just don't have the time available to me right now. I would love like or like Atelier Legacy, or like Trails Legacy, like Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel. I would love to do like legacy playthroughs of those, but it's just not in the cards right now in terms of time. I would love to do that. That'd be great, but it's just not an option for me, unfortunately. Trails, I never got sucked into that. You tried, but oof. I started the first one and I liked it a lot, and then I got distracted by something else. They're also pretty long games, so yeah. Or even like a Dragon Quest Legacy or something like that, right? Like, or fuck, Call of Duty Legacy. I mean, for a little while, Eve, you and me were like bouncing around, like doing Master Chief Legacy and playing through all the Halo games, and that kind of fell off, mostly because it didn't work as well we were hoping. Unfortunately, it's server side, so there's a huge delay going from Alaska to fucking Norway. So yeah, I don't know what might be happening later today or tomorrow or Tuesday. Obviously, we do have normally stream on Tuesdays, and I'm sure something like that will happen. Play all the Final Fantasy games. I have played most of them. I would not be against playing through all of them again. But yeah, so unfortunately, while I still have to work a 9 to 5, player to player, I wanted to do it, but the lag, it was just not feasible. It was pretty severe. Like, we made it happen through most of Reach, and like thankfully the difficulty wasn't one that it was peer-to-peer. Thank you. It wasn't one that it was completely unplayable, but if there was any genuine challenge involved, it would have been unplayable. Yeah, so. But under any circumstance, we're going to get out of here, everybody. So I don't know what will be happening, if anything, in terms of extra stuff. I will be sure to let you know. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, and maybe keep an eye on the announcements channel in Discord if you are on either of those platforms. And if you are following here on Twitch, turn on the notification bell so that you do actually get the notification when we do go live. But we're going to get out of here. Is anyone streaming right now? I'm sure someone is, right? Anyone we following streaming right now? Landmark and Pestily. Okay. Landmark, you're playing something called the Cycle Frontier? The fuck are you playing, my guy? Got that tired of Tarkov, huh? Pestily, you are playing Tarkov. Apparently you can win shit in Pestyly's stream right now. Okay. I had a suggestion. If you have no one you want to raid, I will take suggestions. I'm also going to go peek at the Stream Raiders category. If I can find an easy way to get there. Sus is having a skinathon? What is this? Soundtrack info. I keep my friends to myself. I'm not letting others steal them. Very well. Lydia Slayers? What are they doing? Playing fucking Roblox. Why is this like not loading? There it goes. Lydia has layers. Aha, I see it. It made more sense when I actually got in here. Sure, we can go over there. We can go over there. I got like 35 channels I follow that are live. Gross. Gross. Athena has way too many. Okay. In my opinion, Athena has way too many people that they follow. I don't know how they sort through that junk. Like, there's so many people. Like, at all times, I was like, see Athena's thing. There's just a long list of people that are live, and I'm like, how do you like sort through that? You go to the bottom. Look at viewers and go up. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna get out of here, everybody. I will run the the credits, and then I will hit this raid button. So I hope you're all staying safe, stay warm, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody. Go to the screen. Thank you.